want Georgia? Do you have Georgia on your mind? I said, do you have Georgia on your mind? I have one complaint. And it's directed at you. Come on up here. I got one complaint. You organized this outing today, right?
Yes, sir.
Why in the hell did you get me to follow Shamika Michelle?
No, you're amazing, buddy.
Don't ever do that again. Ever. Chris Tucker, ever do that again.
You're amazing.
Don't do that again.
Everybody loves you.
But give it up for my sister, Shamika Michelle. If anybody thinking about anything, I want you to know I'm going to put you on alert. That's my security right there, Shamika Michelle. First of all, I am honored to be here amongst such great Americans, patriots, red-blooded patriots. Where is CNN? Is CNN in the house? I mean, I know this is their house, but are they in the house? Now, are you out here? Now, if this were Black Lives Matter, burning and looting, they'll be out here right now, wouldn't they? If this was Antifa setting the place on fire, they'll be here right now, wouldn't they? Just like Shamika said. See, they don't want to cover this. You know why? Because we would change the masses' minds across this country. One thing Donald Trump did, not only did he expose fake news, but he also exposed the fact now that they're hiding the damn news, and they've been hiding it for years. When Donald Trump got ready to run for president, the first thing CNN did was what? Define him as a racist. Once you're defined, you become confined to that definition. He knew, or they knew, that Donald Trump had too many African Americans and Latino Americans follow him. As a matter of fact, 72 different rap songs were made from rappers about Donald Trump before he became president. They wanted Donald Trump change. They wanted Donald Trump. You know what some of y'all know what that is. You ought to make it rain. And they saw something. They were like, damn. Donald Trump could change the whole dynamics, and all those Negroes will leave the plantation. They saw it, so immediately they started calling him a racist. It wasn't about those coming in from other countries. They didn't call him a racist because of that. That is a buzzword that liberals use to keep black people voting Democrat. This whole thing is playing, y'all. This is no joke. It's playing. And every one of us who try to come off that plantation, they will hire black people to attack black people for thinking freely. Liberal whites, I'm going to tell you, if slavery was back in existence today, you know who owned the slaves? It would be the liberals. Because they think they know what's best for black people. They think, let us take care of you. Let us tell you where to live. Matter of fact, we'll build you a habitat house, but not in our community. That's what CNN pushes. Why in the hell they don't ever let me come on there and challenge Don Lemon? Please let me just challenge him one time. Want to call somebody a racist? Give me Fredo just one time. I want Fredo just one time. Gonna call Donald Trump a racist? Now let's think about this. They want us to hate a white man. But wait a minute, Don Lemon likes a white man. AOC likes a white man. Kamala Harris likes a white man. Obama's daughter likes a white man. So why do you want us to hate white men? Why do you don't want us to support Donald Trump? Why? Because Donald Trump understands what it really means for African Americans to be independent. And an EBT card won't do it, but a platinum card will. Don't give us checks. Give us opportunity to have jobs and be job creators. Let us go in business. That's how we grow ourselves out of a deficit, not by raising taxes like Joe Biden wants to do. But I want to go back to CNN. When they saw that amount of support that President Trump had prior to getting elected, They went out with their plane and played the race card. They played the race card. And you know what CNN said then? And I'm going to tell you what CNN really stands for. Where is it? Somewhere around here. They panicked. It stands for Control Negroes Now. I'll say it again in case you thought I mispronounced what I was saying. Control Negroes Now. Too many black people watch CNN and they know it. And the whole narrative is having black people that they recruited and pay to attack white people, to get us mad at the Republicans, to get us mad at Donald Trump. And they can't find one black man like me who's not just somebody that can be paid, but can come on there and challenge their narrative. And if you're so concerned about diversity, CNN, look at your own damn board. Look at your board. Look at your senior executive team. Where's the diversity there if you care about black people? Atlanta Constitution right here, that liberal rag. If you care about black people, why we've never had a black publisher? Look at the board. So that's bullshit. That's right. They're using that to divide us. I bleed like you. I want my child to have a good education like you. I want a business like you. I want a safe community like you. But they want to divide us. They want to divide us, but I'm not going to buy that bill of goods. I'm just not. This election was not a fair and transparent election. This was not a fair and transparent election. How in the hell can you call it fair when dead people are voting? How can you call it fair when you keep poll watchers from watching you count the ballots? How can it be fair when you got living people who didn't vote and they're saying that they did vote? That's election fraud. That's not voter fraud. That's election fraud. How can you have a fair election and the machines and the software can change the vote from one candidate to the other candidate? And you're mad at us because we want to exercise our constitutional rights. We have a right to protest for our rights. And I'm so surprised of the Republican Party here in Georgia. Hell, you would think I'm Republican. I'm a lifelong Democrat, but I don't care. I stand up for what's right. And these elections were wrong. What are they afraid of? They're afraid of Antifa. They're afraid of Stacey Abrams. I'm not afraid of Stacey Abrams. I'm not a doormat. I'm a matador. Talking about a fair fight. That's no fair fight. They hide. They steal and they cheat. It's an unfair fight organization. But let me tell you, I'm your huckleberry. And this next election, you're a daisy if you do. Now, I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about accountability. Because we're not like them. They like to burn, shoot, and even kill. A baby girl right here in Atlanta, 8 years old, was killed. But they don't call her name, but they want to always talk about Breonna Taylor. But what about that baby girl? What about the one-year-old baby girl in New York that was shot and killed in a stroller? What kind of person is that? Why is it that Joe Biden can't say that Antifa and Black Lives Matter ain't worth a damn, that they're terrorists and they need to be kicked the hell out of this country? Or put in a damn dungeon? Why is it you want to go and raid restaurants because somebody that doesn't have a mask, they're like a damn masked Nazi or a Nazi mask, whatever you want to say, but Antifa can run these streets and burn and loot and march and do all the violence, and nobody's saying anything about that. And then CNN will report mostly peaceful protests and buildings are burning down behind them. That's bullshit. AOC, Green Deal, that's a bad damn deal. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm glad my mother's not here. But people, I'm going to say this because we have other things to do. If we don't stand up, who will? Now, they want to look at us like troublemakers. We are. You know what? We're getting in some good damn trouble. That's what we're doing. We're getting in good damn trouble. We're standing up for Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents. We're standing up for our right to a true, fair, and transparent election. What is wrong with that? Where are the Democrats? It took Stacey Abrams in the media 3 years before they can say, okay, she lost. And then they want to say she narrowly lost. She didn't narrowly lose. She lost from getting in a runoff by 50,000 votes. Just to get in a runoff, you didn't almost win. Hell, you almost lost worse than you lost. I don't know, I don't know where Kemp is, but I know where y'all are. Y'all are standing between memory and hope. Memory of what just happened and where we hope to go. January 5th is going to be a crucial election. If we don't get out and support David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, we are going to have Warnock, who's socialist, and John Ossoff as a Marxist, because that's what they stand for. Why don't they go to Venezuela and live over there if they think socialism works? And when you don't support law and order, when you don't support police officers, what in the hell is wrong with you? That's what I like about Donald Trump. He travels with a set of twins, one named Law and the other named Order. That's what we stand for, law and order. So look, we're going to march again, and we're going to march and march again. We will never stop. Freedom is not free. And let me tell y'all, we're Americans. I don't care where you're from. I may be taller than you. My eyes may be a different color than yours. But our blood, it runs red. It runs the United States of America red. So I want to ask you all, don't give up. You got a lot of fight left in you. I know you to come up here. I want you, yeah, you come up here. You see this little lady right here? She got more fight in her than Kamala Harris and Joe Biden ever had. If she can take a time out of her schedule and come here and raise that American flag and say, we're going into battle, we're giving that, yeah, we're going to charge. You know, those who are at home, they remind me of those who don't like resistance, don't want to go against the current. I was telling somebody the other day, President Trump reminds me of a salmon. Those who are here today remind me of a salmon. Any fish can swim downstream, including a damn dead fish. But it takes a salmon to swim upstream. And we're swimming upstream against the current. If Donald Trump can put himself on the line for us, we can put ourselves on the line for Donald Trump. If he can catch COVID for us, so we can have our liberties, so we're not a military state, police state country, then I can put mine on the line as well. Freedom is worth dying for. My eyes have seen the coming of the glory too. His truth is marching along. Somewhere I saw in the Constitution, we have First Amendment rights. Freedom of speech, freedom of choice. She could be walking around Antifa, they'll jump on her just because of her hat. That's not the America we grew up in. And another thing, I am a protector of the Second Amendment. You're not going to take my damn gun. I don't use it in a violent way. I use it to protect my family, my property. If you decide to hang with me, you got the message. This is America, and I love this country. Even there were times this country didn't love me. But you know what? When I see y'all here today, standing here for what you believe in, what greater cause? You're not taking a political stand. You're not taking a stand that's popular. You may not even be taking a stand of the majority. But somewhere I saw where one courageous man in the crowd is a majority. Y'all are here because what you feel in your body and your mind and your soul. And when you're willing to go to the extreme for that and you feeling that way, ain't no stopping us now. Ain't no stopping us now. My country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land of our
Yeah.
She said, yeah, yeah. Land of the Pilgrim's Pride. You got that right. You are the majority. Thank you for coming out. Thank y'all for coming out. I know there's going to be something else a little later. Want you to participate. I'm on social media. Rep Vernon Jones, follow me. I want to follow you. We got a message to carry from the State House to the White House. Love you, America.
We'll bill you. Let's give it up again for Representative Vernon Jones. Hi guys, I'm Nick Miles. I work for the Walkaway Foundation. The Walkaway Foundation, which is a 501c3, does not support and endorse any direct candidate, organization, cause, or business that is in attendance and or speaking at this event today.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Vernon Jones. Really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, before someone just told me that CNN did come out. So I'm trying to ask myself, well, what is the headline going to be, if there is, if they do a story at all? What are they going to tell? So I have to ask, I'm just curious, make a little noise right now if you are not a Caucasian person. Anything. Yeah. Okay, because you're all about to disappear when the story comes on, just so you know. None of you were here. The story is going to be white supremacists descend on CNN to do God knows what, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a great friend of mine and an amazing activist and an amazing asset to our movement. And I want to introduce my good friend, Scott Pressler.
I love you. Hello, Atlanta. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Scott Pressler. I am the son of a retired Navy captain. I am that long-haired Eagle Scout. And I'm here in Georgia to help stop the steal. But you guys don't know my story. I graduated from college, couldn't find a job, and I started walking dogs for a living because there's no shame in a hard day's work and an honest day's labor. And I want to pay respect to President Obama because he did inspire me. The day that he was reelected, I created my Twitter account because I told myself, you can sit at home and whine and complain, or you can do something about it. So I started volunteering. I fell in love with it because I met people like you. I moved to Texas to help elect Governor Greg Abbott. I spent 2 years of my life working to defeat Hillary Clinton. And I've spent the last 4 years of my life helping to defend and protect our Constitution. Now guys, a year ago I was invited to the White House and it was the coolest gosh darn moment of my life. I even flat ironed my hair. Listen, I was about to see our man. It was a special occasion. And so I'm walking in there and all of our heroes are there. I'm talking Donald Trump Jr., Kimberly Guilfoyle. I'm sitting behind Dan Bongino. I know. I could breathe on him, but that was pre-COVID. I can't do that anymore. And so David Harris Jr. is asking our president a question on the right side of the room. I'm on the left. I knew he was gonna turn his head. I had my arm like this, prepared, ready to go. President Trump started to turn his head, but first his hair moved a little bit. And then his head moved and I shot up my arm like a dang lightning bolt. President Trump pointed at me. The most powerful man was locking eyes with me for 2.3 seconds. I counted. Melania Trump better watch out, because I am wiggling my way right in there. So I like to think of my life as I started off humbled in the doghouse, and I ended up in the White House. Now, guys, our president, Trump, inspired me because a year ago he talked about Baltimore. And I saw everybody else was pointing the finger, and they were blaming, and they were scapegoating, but nobody was taking action. And so I tweeted out to my following, and I said, I'm going to Baltimore. I didn't realize what I had done, because all these people wanted to help, and then I was like, uh-oh. I studied criminal justice, not waste management and sanitation. So within 6 days, we organized a national cleanup with 200 volunteers on a Monday, and we picked up 12 tons of trash in 12 hours in 1 day. So I went home to my ma, and I was like, Ma, I'm good at picking up trash. And you see, her heart swelled with pride because her son, the dog walker, turned into a trash collector. But the reason why I share this story with you is, guys, I'm an average American citizen, but I did something extraordinary because I chose to take action. And in 1 year's time, so many of you feel hopeless and you feel powerless and you say, Scott, one person can't make a difference. One vote doesn't matter. And I'm here to tell you that you do matter. And in 1 year, we've organized cleanups in Atlanta, Austin, Baltimore, Chicago, Denver, Duquesne, Detroit, Houston, Kenosha, Los Angeles, Miami, Milwaukee, Portland, Pittsburgh, Philly. And I was even protested for picking up trash by the Democrats in San Francisco, California. Eat your heart out, Nancy Pelosi. So what I want you to take away from today is you are so powerful if you choose to hone that power and if you choose to act. And I make a promise to you, as soon as the election, I was really looking forward to sleeping. I was. On November 4th, I was like, Scott, you're gonna go to bed and you're gonna rest. But as soon as it was clear that there were numerous irregularities and that an election was being stolen from us, I headed straight to the steps of the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Capitol building. And then I went and marched with you in DC to help stop the steal. And yesterday I drove 9 hours here from Virginia, registered a 17-year-old on the way, and I would not miss this for the world. So just know that you have an ally in me, and I will do everything. I promise you, I am not gonna rest. I am not gonna give up. I will not buckle. I will not bend. I will not be intimidated. And I'm gonna do everything to fight for truth and justice, because I firmly believe that freedom is worth fighting for. And that's what we are. We are not just Americans. We are freedom fighters! So thank you to you that have chosen to step up, you that have chosen to raise your voices, and you that have chosen to take action. Thank you. Also, I am filing a FOIA request to not only Governor Kemp, but also our Secretary of State. And in the FOIA, I am requesting any documentation sent to or from that include Dominion voting system, Smartmatic, DVS, and I have a message before I go. I have a message to you Republicans that are elected who are not standing firmly with our president. We will remember! And for those of you, when I do receive my FOIA request, which should be done for every state that use Dominion voting system to the governor and the Secretary of State, we will find out whose Republican hands are clean or dirty. And in 2022, we will primary you. You guys have changed my life. I want you to know that. You've changed my life. I'm grateful. I'm humbled. And I want you to know I'm not stopping. I stand with you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott Pressler. Let us not lose sight, ladies and gentlemen, of an important factor that's bringing us out here today, which is that CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! They do, though. They do. They suck so bad. They suck so bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I watched earlier this year as George Floyd was killed. And we all were on the same page, feeling like something's wrong. You know, something doesn't feel right about this situation. But what happened next was this disgusting narrative that was crafted and created by a group called Black Lives Matter and was enabled by the media, if not entirely co-supported by the media, that we need to defund the police, that the police in this country are our enemy. And young people from coast to coast jumped on this movement because they believe, they've been taught to believe, that the media is an institution in this country that is a believable authority, that these are good guys, that these are good people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a parent, but please start teaching your children that the media cannot be trusted. Or show them the ones who can. Because our youth are easily manipulated. That's why the Democrats go after them. That's why these cult ideologies like Antifa and Black Lives Matter go after America's youth. But then we have youth in this country like Chandler Crump. We have young people in this country who are defying the trend, who are standing up, who are being intelligent, who are well-read, who are well-researched, and who are using their voices to buck the trend of what it means to be a young person in this country. You don't have to be a leftist. You don't have to go along with the fake news. I'm so proud of this young voice in our movement. Ladies and gentlemen, Chandler Crump.
Well, I have to say I am very flattered by the words of Brandon Strzok. I'm very proud of each and every one of the previous speakers that came up and said amazing things. I do want to say, what's up, America? And what is up, Atlanta, Georgia? Who here is tired of the fake news media like CNN? I know I am. I know I am. My story starts back in 2016. Now, just around then, if you can believe it or not, I was in 5th grade. Yeah, I know, that's going to be a little bit of a culture shock for you guys because you're like, 2015, I remember that. This kid was in 5th grade. How is he talking to me now if he was in 5th grade back then? Well, back then, we saw one of the most polarizing events in American history. We saw the presidential election between Trump and Clinton. Now, let me tell you something. Back then, I was no fan of Clinton. I wasn't that brainwashed. I wasn't that hoodwinked. I was no fan of Clinton. Anybody here a fan of Clinton, aside from Brandon? I think we should boo Brandon again for voting for Clinton. No, but seriously, I was no fan of Clinton. But back then, I was not a fan of Trump either. And I'll tell you why. It was the fake news media like CNN. It was the fake news media like MSNBC. It was the fake news or faux news media like Fox News that made me hate Trump. That made me think it was crazy. That made me think that he didn't care about America. That made me think it was a stunt. But after the election, I sat there similarly to how Brandon did, and I said, how could America elect a man that was crazy? I looked into it. I looked into the truth and saw that the media lied to me. They lied to me. So-called what they care about, a black youth in America who they say is the future. They lied to me. How could they do that? I looked deeper and further into it and saw that it was nothing but control. It was nothing but indoctrination. It was nothing but oppression in their eyes. That's what it was. They oppressed me by lying to me. And I had to fight that impression at the very source. And that's why we're here right now in front of the CNN Center, nearly 4 years later, to say that CNN, enough is enough. We're not gonna let you lie to us. We're not gonna let you lie to anybody else. And we're not gonna let you lie to our youth. I was in 5th grade back in 2016. I'm 16 years old now, I'm in 10th grade, and I'm still in here to say that fake news media, you're done. We've had enough of you. We've had enough of your lies. We've had enough of your deceit. We've had enough of your power. We've had enough of your control, because we're tired of it. We are done with being lied to. We are done with being shamed. We are done with being misaligned. And we are done with being hated. You wanted us to hate Trump. We rejected that. You wanted us to hate America. We rejected that. You wanted us to hate the white man. We reject that. You want us to hate men, period. We reject that. You want us to hate fathers. We reject that. You want us to hate freedom. We reject that. And you want us to hate the Constitution. We reject your hatred at every spot that we can, because we know that when we fight the fake news media and when we fight those that oppose us, we win. When we fight those that lie to us, we win. And when we get out here in the streets of Atlanta, or the streets of Detroit, or the streets of Chicago, or the streets of Washington, D.C., where nearly 500,000 Trump supporters gathered last Saturday, we win. So I'm here to tell you guys that when we come out here and we fight and we win, we guarantee the future for all of us. I know many of you guys have younger brothers or sisters, possibly children or grandchildren. You see me, and I want you to think and say, there is a future for America. I have hope for the future of America. I saw this young man, and I said, maybe the future isn't lost, because I'm here to fight for it. I'm fighting for it right now, so that in the future I can keep fighting. Because America is not something I will ever let die. America is not something I will ever let the media teach me to hate. I will never let my peers, I will never let my brothers and sisters, black, white, Latino, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. I will get out there and I will say, don't listen to the media lies. I will get out there and say and show them that America is something to be proud of, not hate. They want us to hate America, well, we reject that. America has given me everything I could ever have, and it has given everybody here something as well. Those of you who came from communist nations, you had to flee your home. You made America your home, because America opened their arms and let you wide open and let you in and said, you have freedom here. You have hope for the future. And now you're seeing this. You're seeing this event today, and you're saying CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all the other networks that we can't quite remember because they're so stupid. They lie to us every day. You know, the Don Lemonheads, the Rachel Mad Cows, or even the unfunny SNL hosts like Jimmy Kimmel and all those other guys that can never make us laugh. We reject everything you say, because we stand for the truth. We stand for the future. We stand for America, and we stand for hope and freedom. And if you can't stand for that right along with us, then step out of the way. If you can't stand for the hope of the future, then step out of the way. And if you want to reject America, then we're going to push you to the side and put our fists up and say, we stand with freedom. We stand with the future. And we stand to get rid of the fake news media. I am Chandler Crump, and I want you to fight with the future right alongside me. Because this fight is bigger than all of us. This fight will go on for decades to come. And when you can no longer fight, I will inspire your children to fight. I will inspire your grandchildren to fight. I will inspire your younger family to fight. Because this fight is generational. The baby boomers had it. Generation X had it. The millennials had it. And now it is Generation Z's time to fight. And we're getting out in the streets right now. Your children, your grandchildren are the future soul of this nation. And I'm here to show them that this nation is something to be proud of. I'm here to show them that whatever they taught you in the school about hating America isn't something that we should listen to. We should reject the hatred of this country. And we're going to do that in the future. And we're starting right now. With your support, and with your help, and with your energy, and with your strength. We are going to save America. We are going to save the future. And when America prospers, we will save the world. Thank you guys so much. You guys showing up and being here and being active is the start of the fight. And I'm here to finish it once and for all. Let's do this. Let's do this. One more time. Let's do this.
One America News Network. Let's give a hand for Newsmax. Let's give a hand for RSBN. One more time for those of you watching at home from, say, the Walkaway community or various communities. This amazing network travels around the country and provides free coverage for you of the various Trump rallies and events happening in the conservative movement. Thank you, RSBN. Make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel. Make sure you follow them on social media and give them your support. And to the RSBN community, please check out the Walkaway community as well. Go to the Facebook group, Walkaway Campaign. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on all social media. My name is Brandon Strock. Give me a follow on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all of those. And Parler. Parler. I'm still struggling with Parler, but I'm trying. They need a little time. They need a little time still. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, one more announcement quickly. At 12 o'clock today, which is coming up, I'm sure they'll start a few minutes late, at the state capitol is a Stop the Steal rally. I want to make sure you're all aware of that. I know different people have different plans today. Some of you are going to the governor's mansion, all good. But just so you're aware, there is a Stop the Steal rally today, starting at 12 at the governor's mansion. I'm going to head over there, and I'll be speaking there as well. Unfortunately, I have to cut and go over there as soon as this is over. So if you'd like a picture with me or the speakers, let's do it at the Capitol. I'm happy to do it, but we have to do it at the Capitol. My next and last two speakers today are again part of this amazing Walkaway family that has been traveling the country for the last 4 or 5 months, every single week, sometimes doing events 2 or 3 times a week to rescue America. We've been rescuing America from the radical left, from Antifa, from Black Lives Matter, from the fake news, and even to stop the steal of this election. We are going everywhere where we are needed because this is the most crucial of all election years. And listen, I'm not going to be naming any names today, but I am going to be naming names once this election is over. I want you guys to really pay attention to who's been working their asses off this year for this election, and who, let's be honest, that we've turned into gods and stars in the conservative movement who spent the entire year at home doing absolutely nothing. I will be naming names of the people who sat home this entire year plugging their books on Fox News, but not doing any activism whatsoever to make sure that Donald Trump wins. Some of them, you guys are in love with these people. They didn't do shit this year while we were out fighting every single day, and I'm going to be naming names after the election. But in the meantime, the only name that I'm naming is one of my favorite boys in the face of the earth, Mikey Harlow!
Hey, fam! I'm so glad we're here because I've come here today to CNN to look for the missing plane that they said was swallowed by a black hole in the Bermuda Triangle. You guys remember that? That's the level of news you're getting at CNN. The most trusted name in news. Can you believe that they have the audacity to call themselves that? If CNN is the most trusted name in news, I am the most trusted name in gynecology. Every day for years now, it has been nothing but nonstop lies, propaganda, you name it. People were chanting before CNN sucks. More importantly, CNN lies. CNN lies! 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 Let's talk about trust from the most trusted name in news. They want every one of us to just submit and obey and trust them. Well, let me tell you something, CNN. Trust is not given. It is earned. If you want your credibility back, if you want the American people to trust you, then you need to fucking earn our trust. Everything. Everything. You know, years ago, Mark Twain said that if you don't read the news, you're uninformed, and if you read the news, you're misinformed. Clearly, nothing has changed in 100 years. You know, it's amazing to me how liberals have just sold out every value they once claimed to care about. Because if you look right now at what's happening with the consolidation of power in media, the entire media is run by 5 corporations. Listen, liberals, you used to care about these things. 5 corporations control what information you find out and what facts you must never know. And it's amazing how people just want us to trust them. And what's happening now in terms of the consolidation of power in media and what that has done for independent thought, we're now seeing that happen in consumerism, in every small business getting shut down, where only the big corporations can stay open, but you can't have a bar, you can't have a food truck, you can't do anything. It almost seems by design that in a couple years, our entire country will just be run by a few corporations. And I know that many of you as conservatives have always been very skeptical of government power. Let me tell you, the time has come for us to be just as skeptical of corporate power. Because the most underreported story of this decade is the merging of the government and the corporation. They are now acting as one. This right here is state media behind us. They are living proof of that. We are truly in the throes of communism right now. And people think that that can't happen because it's not like people are getting into office and changing our government to a system of communism. But the thing is, they don't need to. When you can be censored and banned and deplatformed and unpersoned for not going along, not being a member of one political party that this corporation and every corporation demands, do they need to change the laws at that point? So, these liars, they want to just cancel everyone, ban you, unperson you, but they didn't count on something. They didn't count on tens of millions of us standing up to say, we will not be canceled. God, just that term shows like their delusions of grandeur. Cancel. Are you God? You're not canceling anybody. Sit down. And oh God, if you look at these people that they put on the air. I was watching CNN the other day in the airport. I mean, that's the only reason to watch it. An airport or a retirement home where you're like a vegetable and they just put it in front of you like, hey, remember the 50s? So I was watching the other day, these people they put on, these whiny, thin-skinned activists posing as journalists, like Fredo. Did you guys see that video of him? Don't you stereotype the Italians. Like, you're doing a pretty good job on your own. Because, you know, I'm Italian also, so, Fredo, I am here to tell you you're a boombazz. Sei un pezzo di merda, Fredo. You know, like I said, every day for the past few years, it has been lie after lie, from Covington to Jussie Smollett to Russian collusion. I'm still waiting on the evidence of Russian collusion. I mean, that's kind of like OJ looking for the real killer. I guess the evidence of Russian collusion is with the plane and the black hole in the Bermuda Triangle. But I think that we are doing the most important thing that can be done in standing up and making our voices heard. You know, I've been trying so hard for a while now to change people's minds and sort of deprogram them from just trusting everything that these 5 corporations say. And I think the most important way to do that is to just bring people information. Because I used to be that person who would just sit in front of MSNBC and sit in front of CNN. If Rachel Maddow didn't say it, it didn't happen. Because being a Democrat and being a leftist is just the default. We are told that it's everything that's objective and pure and wonderful. And so I was watching CNN in the airport the other day, and they were going on some rant about how this administration is taking people's rights away. They're taking people's rights away, which, okay, I know that's not how we roll, of like this histrionic battle that they frame everything as, of the good people and the bad people and people who want rights versus people who don't want rights. But I was sitting there thinking, what about our damn rights? Aren't you the ones taking our rights away? Like our First Amendment rights, our Second Amendment rights, our right to own a small business without being crushed by the government, our right to have whoever the hell we want over our apartment for Thanksgiving dinner without having our power shut off by the government, our right to choose whichever garment we do or do not want on our faces. God, do you guys remember a few years ago when people were saying like, ooh, they're gonna bring Sharia law to America? We've done it to ourselves! They didn't need to! So anyway, we just need to keep standing up, keep fighting back against this lying state media propaganda and making ourselves heard. So anyway, I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me. we've been doing this for months now, and we're exhausted and feel amazing, and I never want it to end, but I just want to say thank you to my friends, Brandon, Carlin, Shamika, Scott, Chandler, everybody. This has just truly been the honor of my life. I love you. All right, so I'm going to shut up before my hair dye starts dripping. But thank you, guys. We'll see you at the Capitol. Woo!
Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Mikey. So we have our final speaker today. She's, again, like a sister to me. She's amazing. We're not finished yet, ladies and gentlemen. Come on back. Make sure you come in. We're almost done, but we're not done yet. So eyes and ears over here. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say too, for anyone who would like to support what we're doing, we're on the road constantly. Walkawaycampaign.com, walkawaycampaign.com. You can make a donation there towards our organization. This helps us get security, flights, hotels. We're literally on the road every single week, going into blue cities, blue states. We're doing all of these events to rescue America. Before this stupid COVID pandemic, we were in college campuses. We were doing events in the Black community, the Hispanic community. This is indoor events, if anyone can remember what that used to be like. Now we've done, outdoor rallies for the last 4, 5, 6 months because that's what we've been able to do. But this work continues into 2021, into 2022, and beyond. Go to walkawaycampaign.com, make a donation to our organization, and please join our email list on the website at walkawaycampaign.com, and text the word walkaway to 858-WALKAWAY. And I didn't bother to take a second to write down what those numbers actually are. So do the math for yourself. 858-WALKAWAY. Just text the word walkaway to 858. Ladies and gentlemen, let's close out today with the beautiful, amazing, and strong and powerful Carlin Borisenko.
Hello, hello. All right, guys, I'm going to keep this relatively short because we all want to get over to the Capitol and continue this festivities. But listen, I want to tell you a story. So a little over 20 years ago, I went to one of the best journalism schools in the country, the College of Communication at Boston University, and I wanted to study journalism. I was convinced that that was going to be the career that I had. Well, here's the thing that they don't tell you when you enroll in journalism school, is that most of the people who go in thinking they're studying journalism actually end up transitioning over to study public relations. And that is exactly what happened to me. And that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Because now we have an entire generation of reporters working at places like CNN who do nothing but tell us stories all day long. You know, I was a Democrat for 20 years, and really, the reason I was a Democrat for so long as of recently is because honestly, I got lazy. I was living my life. I was building a business. I was doing all sorts of stuff, and I just had the news on all day, every day, in the background, feeding me lie after lie after lie. And it wasn't until I proactively made an effort to break outside of my echo chamber and to listen to voices who I was convinced I would disagree with that I realized how much I had been lied to over the past decade of my life. And this is the position that the media has put us in. I'll tell you, when you wake up, when you take that red pill, and all of a sudden you discover that everything that these people have been telling you for years and years and years is a lie, that screws with your head something fierce. I don't even know the extent that I have been lied to at this point. I can't go back that far. And it's all because of these people right here. And listen, I wasn't a Trump supporter at first. I really wasn't. I originally left the Democratic Party because the left had gone insane, and they were my only other viable option to get them to vote against them, to try to get it to stop. But over the course of waking up and continuing to learn how much the media had lied to me, I learned that everything that they told me about Donald Trump was fake. I learned that every time they talked about the thousands and thousands and thousands of times that Trump has lied to us, they were merely deflecting from the lies that they were telling us every single day. So let's talk about some of those lies. Let's talk about them. How about the lie that Donald Trump has never condemned white supremacy? He has condemned white supremacy for years. For years and years and years. All you need to do is go back and watch the original full clip of that press conference where he says, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists, and they should absolutely be condemned. And what does the media do? They play this clip that's cut out of context over and over and over again, and then they keep asking him, well, Donald Trump, why won't you condemn white supremacy? As though it's a foregone flipping conclusion. Let's talk about some other lies they told us. How about, ooh, I love this lie. How about when Chris Cuomo told us that he was quarantined in his basement for weeks and weeks and weeks on end? And then some dude riding a bike outside of one of Chris Cuomo's properties sees him and confirms that he is not, in fact, quarantined in his basement. And then Chris Cuomo goes on his radio show and actually confirms it. He actually goes after the guy that outed him and then continues to do shows in his basement because CNN lied to us. CNN sucks! And I've got one more for you. How many of you were in Washington, D.C. last week for the Million MAGA March? Yeah, some of you? I'm telling you, if you missed it, it was probably one of the most amazing days of my life. I was shocked at how many people showed up. I watched a clip from CNN reporting live on the ground from that rally. And you know what they said? There's only 8,000 to 10,000 people here. There were hundreds of thousands of people, and anyone with eyes on the ground that day could see it. And if you don't believe it, go back and watch the videos, because we all have access to it. We don't need CNN to tell us anymore. So one of the things I've learned in this whole journey is that the media does tend to like women who say, "How dare you?" Now, I'm not a young little 17-year-old who doesn't know much of anything except what her parents tell her to do, but I can say "how dare you" as well as anyone. So let's try it out. CNN, how dare you? How dare you use the resources and the platform that you have to lie to the American people every single day? How dare you use the resources you have to try to convince that half the country is racist and homophobic and xenophobic simply to turn us against each other? How dare you? How dare you peddle this lie that COVID is the worst thing ever in the history of the world, is going to kill anyone who dares to exit their house without wearing a mask, to drive this country into a hysteria that we are going to be recovering from for years. How dare you? How dare you advocate for closing small businesses all over the country? How dare you advocate for people continuing these lockdowns when we see depression rates going through the roof, suicide rates going through the roofs, drug abuse going through the roof, alcoholism, domestic violence? How dare you do this to us? And I'm going to say the most evil thing that I think that CNN has done to us, and Don Lemon, I am looking at you, Don Lemon, who gets on CNN and cries about systemic racism while he's making millions of dollars a year lying to us. You know, racism is an evil in this country, and there are very real conversations that we should have about race, but you know what's just as evil? When you go on TV in front of millions every single night convincing them that half the country is racist when they're absolutely not. That is just as evil. How dare you? So, to kind of wrap this up, here's what I want to do, because I don't want to chant CNN sucks again. We get the message there. What I do want to do is shame them for once. I want to shame them. So, can you guys follow with me? Shame! 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 Shame on you abusing the resources that we have given you. You know, guys, here's the thing. The media is trying to convince you that you shouldn't be speaking up, that you should keep your mouth shut, that they are the ones that are the arbiters of truth. Never, ever, ever let them make you feel like you should be shutting your mouth and not telling the truth. Never let them keep you quiet, because you have just as much right to speak out and speak up as they do. And that's what we need to keep doing. That's what we need to do today when we go to the state capitol. And I will see all you guys there. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Garland. Patriots, you're all amazing. Thank you all so much for coming out today. Thank you for sticking it to CNN and helping us roast them today and tell them the truth, that they are liars, that they are con artists, and they are, in fact, the enemy of the people. Yes, they are.
All right, thank you, everybody.
USA!
That's a wrap here at the Walk Away Rescue America. We're going live shortly to the state capitol for the next event of the day here in Atlanta, Georgia. We want to say thank you to mypillow.com. You can check out www.mypillow.com to check out an array of products. They have over 100 products. You can check them out.
They went
Ranging from dog beds,
deranged, they
memory
went
foam mattress,
haywire, they went
Giza
crazy,
dream
they went
sheets,
nuts.
course
Some of them were
pillows,
crying.
and
Many of them were
so
crying.
much more.
Let me tell you something, a lot of
RSBN
people
has worked
think
hard with
that they
Mike
were
Lindell
crying
to
and they
secure
became
the
deranged
best
and they
code
became
for you for the
unhinged because
hugest
Donald Trump got
discount
elected.
possible.
That's
And that
not what
is
happened.
RSBN.
They started crying and
So
they
you can
became
use code
unhinged and they became deranged
RSBN
because
at
they
checkout
realized on
at
that night that they do
mypillow.com.
not control the American people. And they thought that they did.
Your entire order, huge savings just
And now
in
they're
time
trying
for
to double
Christmas.
down and
Make
convince
sure
you
you get all
again
your
that they
Christmas
control the American
shopping
people.
done. This is
CNN,
going to be a
you
huge
do
time.
not
We need to show
determine
the
the
world
outcome
that we
of
are going
American
to celebrate
elections.
with our families. We are going to have a good time, and we can continue
Ladies and
enjoying
gentlemen, thank you
our
for coming out
freedoms that
today
so
to
many
the
fought
Walkaway
and
Fake
died
News
for.
Takedown.
We are
This
happy
will
to
not
here
be
in
the
United
last
States
time
of
we do
America.
this.
If you take anything away from this rally here today,
And I
I think it
disagree
is
with Carlin.
do
I'm
not
ready to
trust
say
the
CNN
media,
sucks
do not
one
trust
last
the
time
mainstream
before we
media.
go.
It is more
CNN,
important now than ever for networks like Brightside Broadcasting that can be put on the ground broadcasting these events live to you. Keep in mind we're almost entirely viewer funded, so we rely on
And
your
we're gonna
donations
take you all
to
down.
continue
Ladies and
traveling the
gentlemen,
country
I'll see you at the Takedown.
and
So
showing
thank you
these
so much.
incredible gatherings of patriots. There's a number of ways you can donate. Go to our YouTube, click that $ for the live chat in the bottom right-hand corner. Check out our website, www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. The third way is sending a check. So you can send a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. Again, while supplies last and while our code is active, go to www.mypillow.com and use code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your order. This is huge saving, you guys. Mike Lindell is an incredible patriot now more than ever. Go support him. We've got a lot of news coming up, working with him and working with other groups. I'm going to toss it right now to the state capitol in Atlanta, Georgia, where our team is live on the ground with huge groups. So excited to see those. We'll be joining them shortly. Thank you.
Quiet. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for tuning in to the Walkaway Fake News Takedown at CNN Center in Atlanta. We're now going to head on over to the Georgia State Capitol, where the Stop the Steal rally is about to get started. And we won't be doing it on this stream, so if you're watching on this stream, please switch over to the other stream. Just go to our YouTube channel or our website, rsbnetwork.com. We'll be live in about 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Unbelievable. Can you believe how many people look behind the fake news? Can you believe how many people are back there? I wish they'd turn their cameras. You want to turn the cameras around, show? That is a lot of people here today. You know, they never report that. They won't report it. There are thousands of people behind these people. Why do you give them the good location for? Gotta talk to our people about that. Why are we giving the media the good location? Anyway, thank you very much, and thank you to Florida. We love Florida. And it's great to be back in this magnificent state. You know, I live here too, you know that, right? With thousands of loyal, hard-working, great American patriots. So, 18 days, can you believe it? 18. Think of that, 18. Like around 4 years ago, I'll never forget, January 20th, I stood up in the Great White House. First night, First Lady. I stood right next to the Lincoln bedroom and I said, can you believe this? And now 4 years goes by, it goes by so quickly, doesn't it? But no administration has done in 3.5 years, no administration has done even close to what this administration has done. None. And that's despite phony witch hunts, phony impeachments, all of the things. And it ended up that they did it. Can you believe that? They did it. But we've done a job, and you've done a job, and we're working together, and we love you all, and we love this state, and thank you very much. Thank you very much. And by the way, we're leading in Florida. You know we're leading in Florida. Right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, we're leading in the state of Florida. How would it be if we didn't have the Russia witch hunt and all this nonsense that they threw at us for almost 4 years with the spying and all the things? How would it be? They wouldn't even have an election. We'd just say, okay, we'll take it for another 4 years, right? But now we're doing great. And 18 days from now, we're going to win the state of Florida. We're going to win 4 more years in the White House. And early voting starts on Monday. We're going to have a red wave, it's called, the red wave. So get out and vote. No, they're calling it a red, these people, look at all those cameras. These people, they're calling it a red wave. They expect there may be, not forget about the word may. They said there may be a big red wave. We will have a red wave, the likes of which they've never seen before, and that includes 4 years ago. Joe Biden he's a disaster, let's face it. But did you see last night? Did you see the easy questions? Now, did you watch that whole deal? Did you see him a week ago with Lester Holt on NBC? Like, come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Can we help you with the answer, Joe? It's a disgrace. And you saw what I got last night, right? But it's okay. She's like disappeared. Nobody can find her. She's not too popular right now. But we enjoyed it, we enjoyed it. We don't say, give us the questions, give us the answers. We wanted this. We don't want to read it off teleprompters. We don't want to do that. And we know what we got, and people really expect it. And by the way, if you can't handle Savannah, you cannot handle Putin and President Xi and Kim Jong-un. That's small potatoes last night. That's small potatoes. But it does seem unfair when you have a guy that's constantly getting questions like you're talking to a child, right? Like you're talking to a child. They say, what's this? And then you get like, boom, boom, what about this? What about that? What about this? Now, but that's why we're here, right? You know the expression? You know the expression? They come after us from every angle. They're after us. And we're here, and they're not. So it's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. And we appreciate this great support, but Biden is the living embodiment of the corrupt political class and you take a look what he's done. It's a political class that enriched itself while draining the economic life and soul from our country. Look at what's happened. And now you see it. And you see it better than ever before. And with all of the things that took place, not one question was asked of this guy last night about that. Can you even believe it? It's the biggest story worldwide. It's a corrupt family. And these people didn't ask him one single question about it. It's incredible. No, it's true. Yeah, like it. It's true. I like this guy. Look at this. Will you stand up, please? Look at this guy. That's pretty good, huh? That's pretty good. Thank you, man. That's cool. That's great. Thank you. That's cool. For the last 47 years, Joe Biden has shipped away your jobs, shut down your factories, threw open your borders, and ravaged our cities while sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless foreign wars in countries that you've never even heard of. And they're all coming back, you know that. They're all coming back. Except in certain areas, if you don't mind, where we kept the oil. We left some of our great soldiers. We kept the oil. We should have kept the oil in plenty of places when we went over there. We should have never been there, but if we're going to be there, remember I used to say for years, keep the oil. We didn't do that. He's a servant of the wealthy donors and globalists and special interests who got rich bleeding our country dry. They sold you out, and I know this area very well, and you got sold out big. This whole state got sold out. Every state did. They sold you out on trade, on borders, on jobs, on crime. One act of treachery after another. In 2016, Florida voted to fire this corrupt and look, this is the most corrupt group of people, okay? I've gotten, you know, when I say drain the swamp, I used to think it was like a swamp this thick. It's like a real thick. It's very thick. So Florida voted to fire the corrupt and decrepit political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president, and we finally put America first. About time. It's only been about 30 years. This week we learned from newly released emails that Joe Biden has been blatantly lying about his involvement in his son's corrupt business dealings. The highest level. Yesterday, a news story showed that Hunter made a deal with a wealthy Chinese business magnate for $10 million a year for introductions alone. He just wanted $10 million introductions. He's going to introduce. There's a guy that got thrown out of the military, had no job. As soon as his father became vice president, he became a vacuum cleaner for the family. Okay? Hunter also referred to another more lasting and lucrative arrangement, as he called it, with the same Chinese businessman that would be so much more interesting to me and my family, his father, okay? His father. These deals were made after Biden spent his entire career letting China steal our jobs and raid our factories. And let me tell you something, if he ever won, China will own the United States, okay? They will own it. What's happening to China now, nobody's ever seen that. Nobody ever thought it was possible. We've done so much better than them until they sent us the plague. And now we're coming back from the plague. We could have lost 2.2 million people and more. And we lost much. We lost over 200,000 people. We shouldn't have lost a person. What they did to us, we will never forget. Just remember that. We will never forget. But this is all a matter of national security. The Bidens got rich while America got robbed. And you know, I say it, and I sort of said it very timidly initially, and now you see this, they got the guy's laptop, they've got thousands of things. I mean, they're going through it, and I give great credit to the New York Post, for what they did. The New York Post. I don't know how many of you read the New York Post, but it's the oldest paper in the United States. I think it's like the 5th largest paper. It really is. You know, you talk about mainstream media. They went out and they did what these people should have been doing. These people do nothing. But I said it very timidly, and now I say it. Joe Biden is a corrupt politician, and he has been for a long time. And the Biden family is a criminal enterprise, and you know it, and so do I. In fact, they sort of make crooked Hillary Clinton look like amateur hour. You think about it. Yet all of this is being covered up by the media and big tech. You saw that? You see that? You put a story out from the New York Post and they shut down her site. How about Kaylee? Her site got shut down because she put out a story from the New York Post. This is what's going on. So they talk about freedom of speech and freedom of the press. There's no freedom of the press. But watch what we do. But the biggest thing we can do, November 3rd. That's the biggest thing we can do. Because I'm not just running against Biden. We're not just running against Joe Biden. We're running against the left-wing media, and we're running against big tech. And they all said, and I've heard this, and I kept hearing about the power of big tech, the power, and they were against us, as you know, 4 years ago. But I won. I said, how can they be powerful? I won. I never did this before, and I won. How the hell are they powerful? But now they've gone totally crazy. They've done things now that they wouldn't even do, and they got caught. And there's great anger in Congress, in the Senate. There's great anger because what they're doing is really bad. You know, we gave them Section 230. It's protection. It protects them from everything. It shields them. So once you do that, the government is giving them something that no other industry has. So they no longer can say, oh, freedom of speech. It's not freedom of speech. They've been given protection, and they've abused that protection. And a lot of people are looking now at big bad tech. But I did say it. I said, so they're so powerful, how did we win? Well, we won for a lot of reasons. By the way, was that the greatest evening? Was that the greatest? We're going to have an even bigger evening and an even better evening on November 3rd. Despite the fact that they're trying to get forever to count the ballots, you know, the ballots, right? The fake ballots. They're doing everything in their power to protect their chosen candidate, Sleepy Joe, and he is a sleepy guy. I watched last night. Did anybody watch last night? You watched both of them, right? Yeah, but I just want to see, like, how's he doing? Not well. And remember this, they have nothing but to stand. He's just a vehicle. Let's not kid ourselves. Joe is shot, okay? He's shot. He is a vehicle, and he's got his vice president, who is further left than Crazy Bernie, okay? Kamala. Nobody treated Joe Biden worse than Kamala during the debates, right? Now, she got beat up by other people. She got beat up badly. So badly that her polls dropped, and she went out very angry, and then he picked her. I said, this could be a very good thing. And then Mike Pence did a great job the other night, didn't he? So I have nothing but disdain for what these people have done, and they have nothing but disdain for your values, and you know that. They flood your communities with criminal aliens, drugs, crime, while living behind gated compounds. They oppose school choice while sending their families to the best private schools. They demonize the police while hiring private security. By the way, take a look at the way Joe Biden lives. You know, he's been in Congress, I guess, for almost 50 years. I say 47, but the 47 is getting a little old now, right? Almost 50 years, and he's got houses, and he lives beautifully. You know, it's okay if you work and you get out it beautiful, but this guy's been a politician. A little strange, isn't it, huh? A little strange. They say he lives very well. They attack the Second Amendment while employing armed guards. They come against you with the guns. They want to take your guns away. You know, if I'm not here, I'm the only thing standing between you and your Second Amendment. That I can tell you. They support crippling lockdowns while their jobs remain totally exempt from being locked down. How about your governor in Michigan? She has that place locked down. We just won the court case, though. No, the courts just ruled it unconstitutional what she's doing. The only one that was allowed to enjoy himself happened to be her husband, right? He was going to go boating and have a good time while everyone else was locked down. Somebody caught him. Who the hell caught him? That was a great thing, right? you know? And then we caught some people doing whatever. We'll find out what that was all about. And then she said it was my fault. It was my people that caught them. It was Trump's fault. It's always Trump's fault. Can it ever be like Rick Gates' fault? I mean, it's always Trump's fault, Rick. By the way, how did the governor do? Did he get up and make a great speech? Good governor. Good guy, too, right over here. A lot of good people here. It's time we send a message to these shameless, wealthy, liberal hypocrites in Washington, D.C. and Silicon Valley. Do you see that Silicon Valley and these guys are 99% behind the Democrats, okay? What's that all about? What's that all about? The 99, not even 90, I'd like to say 90, right? 99. Well, one of the reasons I don't call them, and I don't need their money, and I don't want their money, you know, that helps. It really helps. Let me tell you, if I called them and say, do me a favor, send money, every one of them would send money. I don't like making those calls. Because when you make those calls, it's hard to say no. Just on a human basis, it's very hard to say no. They call and they ask for a little thing like how to make an extra $5 billion. I don't make those calls. You know, you read where they have a lot of money flowing in. That's because everyone's calling everybody. We're going to win, and when we win, this is this, and this is... That's why they raise money. I could raise much more money. President, every call I make, every single guy, even if they hated me, they'd all contribute. But, Rick, you understand it. I don't want to make those calls. I don't want to make those calls, right? Huh? Yeah, I know. Where is Rick? He's here. Where is Rick? Where is Rick? Oh, you're there. Good. So I just want to thank everybody, and we do have some special people. Matt, stand up. Come here. I want to just tell something. This guy, Matt Gaetz. So Matt's been another one of our stars. We're going to introduce some of our congressmen and women later, but he's done some special job. How are we doing in Florida, Matt? Huh? Good? So, you know, the polls came out today, and they're very good. They don't report them. They don't report them. They do report them if they were bad, but we're not going to have any bad. We're going to have a big day. Make sure you work very hard, Matt, and I'll see you in a second. On Election Day, you can send a message that the fake news media and the big tech censors, because that's what they are, the big censors, and we're going to send them back. We're going to clean out the Washington swamp. I never knew it was this deep. But we're cleaning out the Washington swamp. We're going to show them the American people are in charge by delivering Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, a thundering defeat like they haven't seen before. Like they haven't seen before. If I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. Sorry. And if I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you harder than anyone has ever fought before. This is the most important election in the history of our country. And, you know, I used to say it all the time. I'd say, well, this is important, but the last... And I'm sort of like debating which is more important. Which is more important? Rick Grinnell, tell me which is more important, Rick. Rick Grinnell, by the way, has done a great job. You know who he is? You know him? What a great job he's done. He's coming with us, I'll tell you that. But nobody's done the job that we've done. Nobody's done the job that we've done, and we've done it with all that opposition. Biden has made a corrupt bargain exchange for his party's nomination, and he shouldn't have the nomination. I said this before. Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, should have gracefully, she was defeated. She shouldn't have stayed Super Tuesday. If she didn't stay if she would have left, she didn't even have to endorse anybody. If she would have left, Crazy Bernie, 100% would have gotten, because he would have gotten most of her votes. He only needed a few. It was really amazing. And he would have had, this guy is the greatest loser of all time. There's no better loser. He's so nice about it. It happened to him twice now, right? So she stayed. Biden got it. So we have a little bigger base, but he's got a base with zero enthusiasm. Zero. The only enthusiasm they have is to beat us. And you know what? That's called negative enthusiasm. Typically, it never wins. We'll find out. It better not win, okay? It better not win, Matt. Biden has handed control to the socialists, Marxists, and far-left lunatics. If he wins, the radical left will be running this country, and they're addicted to power, and God help us if they ever get it, because we will never have the same country again. We never will. We never will. You know, I used to talk about Venezuela. Boy, that is an amazing amount of people back there. That's an amazing amount of people. Turn the camera. Can you show the group of people? That is unbelievable. That goes back a long way. That's unbelievable. Thank you. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. I wish we had the cameras pushed back further. I wish the cameras were in the back. Thank you. Thank you very much. Why don't you drive them crazy? Just say 12 more years, right? They want to punish the middle class, expand every last trace of traditional values, and replace the American dream with the socialist nightmare. That's what it's going to be. You take a look at what's happened with some of these countries, and look at Venezuela. 18 years ago, 17 years ago, it's one of the richest countries, incredible, tremendous wealth, tremendous natural resources. Now they don't have water, they don't have food, they don't have medicine. We get them whatever we can. But we're working hard. Watch what happens with Venezuela. Watch what happens with Cuba. Watch what happens with plenty of places that are in trouble, because we have to do that. We have to take care of people. But look at what's happened to Venezuela. And don't kid yourself. I used to say, well, that could never happen. When you look at the ideology that we're talking about now, it's the exact same ideology. It's the exact same ideology. But it's never going to happen to us, because we're going to have a big victory over the next 18 days. They want to turn America into a communist country or a socialist country. You know, it didn't used to be, I'd use the word communist, but now we talk about our country will never be a socialist nation. And now we have to say a socialist or a communist nation, because that's the next step. We're not going to let it happen and ruin the lives of Hispanic Americans and all Americans. We're not letting it happen. We're going to have a big victory. And that'll be the end of it. Because you know what? One more defeat and they're going to accept it. You know, I talk about unity. Somebody asked me a question recently about unity. When do you think the country will come together? It was coming together. I was getting calls from politicians that nobody would have thought on the other side. And they were saying, I think it's time. I think it's time. We had the greatest employment numbers in history. We're up to 160 million people. We had the greatest numbers, Hispanic American, African American, Asian American, women. We had the greatest numbers. Young people with a diploma from high school, without a high school diploma, with a PhD from MIT. Every single group was having the best numbers. We had the greatest economic recovery. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. And then we got hit by the plague from China. But I'll tell you, and then we saved millions of lives, and we're rebuilding at a level that nobody can even believe. But we were coming together. And I told the person, I said, the thing that's going to bring our country together is success. And it was happening. And until that artificial, horrible situation came in, it was happening. It was happening like never before. And had that not happened, you would have seen great unity. And by the way, the last administration had no unity. Look at St. Louis, look at Henderson, look at Ferguson, look at all of the different, look at Oakland, look at Baltimore, look at the things that were happening. People forget, it was a mess. It was a total mess. And then you look at H1N1, that Biden always calls N1H1. I said, no, Joe. Don't do it, Joe. He can't do it. He can't do it. Did you see last night he had to take out the piece of paper? 200 billion. It's not that big a deal to 200. Let's see. I'm not allowed to take out paper, right? Am I allowed to take out and start reading them to you? Pretty amazing, huh? Pretty amazing. He rips out that paper. You know why he does that? Because it's not working quite too well. Joe Biden and the Democrat socialists will kill your jobs, dismantle your police departments, dissolve your borders. By the way, our border now is the strongest it's ever been, 400 miles of wall. And Mexico is paying for the wall, by the way. They like to say Mexico's, you know, we get the wall. We're up to almost 400 million. It's almost complete. It'll be complete very soon. And really, that's why we have such good numbers now, the wall. You know, they used to say, we don't want a wall, we want drones. Oh, that's great. You can watch people pour into our country. Right? But we got the wall done. And I'll tell you, and Matt and these guys, they really helped a lot. They were warriors. They helped a lot. That was not easy. That was not easy. And Ron, that's right, we forgot. Ron was a congressman. You know, he came to me and said, sir, I'd like to run for governor. I said, well, I could, you know, understand that, but you got a long way to go. I said, no, I'd like your endorsement if we have your endorsement. I said, look, Ron, let's think about it. Anyway, you know, he's a great guy. Harvard, Yale, smart. I said, all right, Ron, I'm going to endorse you. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? Boom, I pressed it. He went from 3 to 71 in one day. And then he had an impossible person to beat. You know, this guy, how's he doing, by the way? How's his opponent doing? He was going to be the future of the Democrat Party, his opponent. I don't think he's doing too well, right? No, not doing too well. Watch, they'll resurrect him. The fake news will say, it's incredible what's happened. He's wonderful. Nah, if he were a Republican, they wouldn't be doing it, but that's okay. But Ron's been a great governor. It was an honor to be with him and endorse him. He's done a fantastic job. The only one better is his great first lady. I like her even better than Ron. But they'll release criminal aliens, raise your taxes, confiscate your guns 100%, destroy your suburbs. They talk about suburban women. Do they like Donald Trump? Yeah, they like Donald Trump. You know why? Because they want safety and security, right? They want safety and security. And they don't want low-income housing built next to their beautiful suburban dream. No, we got rid of it. You know, they had a regulation, all the women standing up over there, they had a regulation that would have destroyed our suburbs. It would have destroyed our American dream. And they came to me, Ben Carson, a lot of good people. They said, sir, it's very tough to terminate it, but why don't we just amend it? I said, I don't want to amend it. What does amend it mean? Make it a little bit better for us, or a little bit? I said, I don't want it amended. I want that regulation terminated. And they terminated the regulation, and nobody can believe it. And they want to drive God from the public square. To defend our Constitution from this madness, I proudly nominated Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the United States Supreme Court. We'll fill that seat. She's done fantastically well. People can't even believe it. What a breath of fresh air, right? Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice? She's fantastic. You know what got me? Her professor, one of her professors, longtime professor, very highly respected all over the legal world, had many, many, many years of students. He said, the single greatest student he's ever had was Amy. And that was pretty good. You know, that meant something to me, right? That meant something to me. It is nice. You know, you're not allowed to discriminate, but I do like smart people on the Supreme Court. Right? Now, Biden wants many people on the Supreme Court. He doesn't want to say, he said, I'll tell you after the election. What they want to do to the court will be a disaster. And by the way, you know, I put out a list of people. It's probably one of the reasons I got elected, but now we increased it by 20 great people that believe in a thing called the Constitution of the United States. But I put out a list so that when we choose, I said I will only take somebody from that list. And they're incredible scholars and great at what they do. I said Biden has to do that, not just about packing. Is he going to pack? Got to know, who is he going to appoint? Because, you know, the AOCs of the world, AOC plus 3, the AOCs of the world, Omar, I think we're going to win. You know what? I think we're going to win Minnesota because of Omar. Think of it. She hates our country. She hates our country. She comes from a place that doesn't even have a government. And then she comes here. She tells us how to run our country. And she hates our country. And we're going to win Minnesota. First time since 1972. You imagine? Hasn't been won by a Republican, but we're doing very well there. Thank you very much, Omar. Ilhan Omar. Thank you very much. She's a wonderful person. Now, we got people, it's not even thinkable. You know, it used to be that Congress, they loved Israel. Today, it's almost like the opposite. It's crazy. What they've done to Israel is incredible. Not the Senate, in all fairness, but if you look at the House with Pelosi and these people, it's like they hate Israel. And they believe in Omar, who came in here, married her brother or something, and came in illegally. Come on, Justice. Let's go, Justice. Department of Justice. Democrats will pack the court with radical left judges who will shred our Second Amendment, empower violent mobs, and protect terrorists and criminals. You know that. Biden's agenda would be a catastrophe for Florida seniors. Do we have any seniors in the room? No, I'm not a senior. Okay. I'm not a senior. Yes, I am. Especially for everyone from, I love the place, the Villages. I love the Villages. They fight for us. I read stories every day. They're out there. They're driving those beautiful golf carts, the nicest golf carts ever made. They got golf carts that are better than your car. We love the Villages, and we're with them all the way, too. They've got spirit, they've got heart. For years, Biden tried to cut your Social Security, you know that, and your Medicare. Now Biden's pledging mass amnesty and free health care for illegal... Look, he's got the illegal immigrants coming in, and we all have heart, and we all want to take care of everybody. But when you say you can have free health care, you can have free education, you can have free... Millions of people are going to flood our country. We're not going to have a country left. So you just can't do it. All it is a magnet. Please come in. So we're sorry, but we will decimate Medicare and destroy your Social Security and destroy your country. While I'm president, no one will touch your Medicare or your Social Security. To reduce the price of prescription drugs, as you probably have heard, and it's not pleasant for me, I have taken on a thing called Big Pharma. They have unlimited money and, in a sense, unlimited power. They're the biggest lobbyist in the world. They spend more money than anybody else. I think, by far, perhaps the lawyers spend more money. But Big Pharma, I signed the most favored nations rule, which nobody can believe. Because, you know, last year, we're the only administration in 51 years that brought down the cost of prescription drugs. Do you know that? But not much. 1%. I'm not proud of that. 1%, but at least it's something. But the big deal is other countries are paying a tiny fraction of what we pay for the same exact drug. The same pill, 10 cents versus $2.50. And we pay by far more than anybody, and it's us, because they view us as suckers. So I said to Big Pharma, you're going to either do these things and get rid of the middlemen and all of the things that we do. You know, I'll bet you Hunter Biden is a middleman. You know that? I'm just thinking. Now I know, I don't know. You know, the middleman with drugs, the middleman, it's called the middleman. They never say the middleman or woman. They're not politically correct. They don't care. They make so much money. These are the richest people. I don't even know who the hell they are. I'll bet you that Hunter Biden has a piece of that action. The middleman. We're getting rid of the middleman. We're giving the governors the right, and your governor wanted it, the first one, to go to Canada, where the same exact drug costs 50%. They're going to buy in Florida until the favored nations kicks in, which will be even better. They're going to buy prescription drugs from Canada at 50% off, and you're going to get the benefit. Think of that. Because we have a long-time system that's corrupt, like so many other things, and hard to break, so we're breaking it by letting them go and buy. And we have various states, but Florida is going to be one of them. You're going to go, you're going to buy them for much less. But ultimately, that'll stop, because the greatest is favored nation. So you will have, and you will be paying, the lowest price. We're going to match the lowest price anywhere in the world. You're the biggest buyer, and that's what it's going to be. Plus, we capped insulin costs for Medicare plans at less than $35 a month. It was much, much higher, many times higher. My people did a great job in that. You know, insulin was driving people out of business, and people were dying because they couldn't afford it. They couldn't do it. And every senior on Medicare will soon be receiving $200 to help with the cost of your medicines. And we got that approved, too. We got a lot approved. Nobody has done what I've done for seniors, that I can tell you. We have a lot of great plans, too. Biden had 47 years to do what I did, but he's owned by the special interests, and he's owned by the drug companies. He's never going to do this stuff. He can't do it. I don't need their money. I don't want their money. I never asked for their money. Who the hell knows? Maybe they gave me something along the line. Sir, you received $400 from Pfizer 7 years ago. But you know what? I couldn't care less. I'm here to do a job, then I'm going to leave, and I'm going to hopefully you're going to say I was a great president, but that's going to be in 4 years. That'll be in 4 years. Thank you. Thank you very much. Under my leadership, we're delivering a safe vaccine and a rapid recovery. We're doing things with FDA. They're giving us approvals in weeks as opposed to years. It's been incredible. If you vote for me, prosperity will surge, normal life. That's all we want. We want normal life, right? Normal. We don't want anything. We want to be where we were 7 months ago. And next year will be one of the best and greatest years in the history of our country. That's what's happening economically, and that's going to lead to other things. This election is a choice between a Trump recovery and a Biden depression. He gets in, they're going to quadruple your taxes, they're going to take away all of the benefits that I gave you, which turned out to be a lot. You add energy, and it's probably $7,000 or $8,000. Think of that, $7,000 or $8,000 a year. Did you ever see yourself with like $2 gasoline? Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that happening? How about less than $2? And at the same time, we are now energy independent, and we have millions and millions of people working on energy. Millions of people. Millions of people. No, we're very proud of it. We are independent. We don't have to be in the Middle East. We don't have to be. We're there to protect Israel. We're there to help others. But we don't need it anymore. We used to need it. We don't need it anymore because of what we've done. And by the way, the fracking, this guy, he goes around talking about fracking all the time. I mean, think about it. There will be, under no circumstances, there will be no fracking. Then he gets it. He goes to Pennsylvania, and I love Pennsylvania. And he says, oh, wow, they have a lot of jobs here, about 1 million jobs fracking, right? He goes, I got a problem. So he goes, all right, who the hell cares? I've been saying this for 1.5 years, no fracking. Now he gets up, yeah, we'll let you frack, absolutely. We never said that. And the fake news doesn't ever even ask the question. No, I mean, they don't even ask the question. It is true. They don't even ask the question. I mean, this guy goes through a thing last night with Stephanopoulos. I like George, but he did me 2 weeks ago. He did an interview with me, and it was nasty, right? It was nasty. Last night, it was like a sleeper. Everyone's falling asleep. Why don't they ask him the fact that why for 1.5 years did he say there's no fracking? And then the day he gets the nomination, he goes into Pennsylvania. He knows nothing about Pennsylvania, by the way. He likes to say, I was born in Pennsylvania. That's it. And then they left. Maybe they didn't like it. They didn't like it. I love you too. Look at her. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very nice. Thank you. But why don't they ask him that? Like, for a year and a half, there will be no fracking. How about this? I said, oh, the election's over. They said, a lot of these people on the stage, the Democrats, they said, who is going to pay for illegal immigrants' health care? Who agrees to pay? And they all raised their hand. You saw that, right? I said, that's beautiful, but Joe's hand hasn't, but I saw his shoulder was moving. Right? Right? Because he knew, his mind isn't so good, so he knows there's something bad going on. He's been doing this for 47 years, so he says, like, I got a problem. I have no idea what the question means, but they're all racing. So he's like this, and then finally he goes this, and I said, I just won the election. That's great. But then they deny it. Then they go and they deny. I've never seen anything, whether it's that or the fracking or other things, they just deny it like it didn't exist. And they get a free pass from our corrupt media. It's a corrupt media. I used to say fake. I used to think that was one of the greatest things that came up. Fake news, right? That was me. But I said, but now I have to go a step further. It's fake and it's corrupt. And a lot of times I leave the fake off because, corrupt is a stage worse. And I'll tell you, and this is true, it's the single, which just about, it causes the problems. It's the enemy of the people. Our media is the enemy of the people. It's very, very dangerous what they do. And you've never seen it more than the last week between the big tech, and they're working on Section 230. You watch what's going to happen. But you've never seen a more egregious case than what's been happening over the last 3 or 4 years. I will deliver optimism, opportunity, and hope. Speaking of hope, Hope Hicks is here. Where's Hope Hicks? Where's Hope Hicks? The great Hope Hicks. She was tested positive, but she's okay. Where's Hope? We want hope, right? We want hope. I used to say, we want hope, and all these crazy people said, yeah, we want. Where's Hope? Where's Hope? Come here. Come here. Come here, Hope. Come on. She's shy, but not that shy. Come on, Hope. Hey. Hope. We want hope. See?
We can share a microphone now. Thank you all so much, and thank you, President Trump. I have stage fright, so.
She's great. So she tested positive and she got better so fast. It was like, that's called being young, strong, right? Young and strong, but she's been fantastic. Thank you, Hope. We're proud of you, Hope. So Biden will deliver pessimism, poverty, and decline, and that's what he's going to do. Look, you know what drives me when I see, he's always criticized, saying, oh, I didn't act fast enough with China, but for 2 months after I did it, he said, I was what, xenophobic? I said, what does that mean? I was xenophobic. What does it mean, Joe? Tell me exactly, please. Give me a definition. He said, I don't know. That's what they told me to say. But 2 months later, he's saying, I shouldn't have done it, right? But now his whole line is, I didn't act fast enough. I did it in January. He's talking about it in February and beyond, late February, beyond, that I shouldn't have done it. Then I did Europe, too, very early. I saw big infections in Spain and Italy. I did Europe. Nobody even talks about it. So we did with over 200,000 people. But remember this, we were expected to lose 2.2 million people and maybe more than that. And our people, whether it's Vice President Pence or all of these people that work so hard on the task force, they've done an incredible job. They've done an incredible job. And when you look at our numbers and when you look at the surge that's taking place right now, and we're going down and Europe is going way up, they used to love to compare us, but we compared very favorably. But now we're making ventilators for Europe and the rest of the world. We're doing things that nobody thought was even possible. So I just want to thank all of the people that worked so hard on that. That's been an amazing experience. But a guy like Sleepy Joe Biden would terminate our recovery, delay the vaccine, prolong the pandemic, and annihilate Florida's incredible economy. Your economy is starting to boom with a draconian, unscientific lockdown. And you know what happens with the lockdowns, right? You know what happened to people when they're in the lockdowns. Biden's plan will crush America. My plan will crush the virus, and America will be in a position very soon like it was never in before. That's what's happening. This week, even the failing New York Times had no choice but to quote, and they put a statement, probably the writer of the article has been fired since, it's been 3 days. But they said, this is quote, experts are saying with genuine confidence, New York Times, that the pandemic in the United States will be over far sooner than anybody expected. Isn't that nice? That's the New York Times. Can't believe it. I heard that, I said, give it to me again. Let me hear that again, because I don't believe it. Our early and aggressive action saved as many as 2 million, but maybe much more, as we said, maybe much more than that. We pioneered life-saving therapies. Well, here I am. I mean, you know. Here I am. I don't know what the hell they gave me, but I'll take some more of it right now, because I felt... No, I had something Regeneron, great. Really, you know, the antibody things. And Eli Lilly also makes something very similar, and we're having a lot of it produced right now, and we're going to be delivering it, and it's going to be something. But, you know, our fatality rate, 85%, think of it. We have it reduced 80 to 85%, all the way down. So this is what we've done is incredible. We understand what's going on. We understand that 99.9 for young people. Like Barron gets it. I said, how you feeling? Not good. How you feeling 2 hours later? I'm feeling great, Dad. It's, you know. Whether we like it or not, they have a little better immune system than we do, right? You know? We don't like to admit it. Let's never admit it, but that's the way it is. No, Barron's great. Our First Lady is great. People love our First Lady. They love our First Lady. Man, the abuse that she takes, she is a fantastic woman. She loves you. She says love. But they love our First Lady. They love her. And they love our family. How about Ivanka? Do we love Ivanka? Right? And Don and Eric and Tiffany, they all... And they gave up a lot. You know, you don't read that. I lost hundreds of millions, billions of dollars through this. You know, this cost me billions, right? I don't take the salary. It's 450,000. I don't do this. But if an Arab gentleman happens to stay one night in one of my hotels for $642.13, headlines, Trump is ripping off the set. These people are bad. Billions of dollars I lost by doing this. And you know what? It's the greatest investment I ever made because it's an investment in our country. It's an investment in our country. Thank you. The greatest thing I've ever done. And we are doing things that nobody else would have been able to do. And I'm only doing it because of you. You know, when you think we're doing it together. But we are the difference between having a great country, and our country's going to be at a level in 2 years, 3 years. We need a little time to seed some of the things we've done. We still have more regulation cutting to do. We've cut more than any other administration in history by far, but we still have more. You know, it used to take 18, 17, 20, 21. It would take years and years, 21 years to get a highway approved. And then usually it didn't get approved. And it would cost hundreds of times more than anticipated. We have that down now to 2 years and probably 1. I mean, things like that. And it may get rejected for environmental or safety reasons. That's okay. But it's going to go quickly. There's no reason. You've seen the charts. I put them up. All the process that you had to go through to get a simple thing done. And now we're building refineries. We're building incredible things that were not. If somebody applied for a refinery in the old days, people would laugh at them. They'd say, you never get that approved. If you go to Louisiana, you take a look, in Texas, you take a look at what they're doing in terms of refineries, right? It's incredible. The things we're doing are incredible. And that's all because of us. So this is the greatest thing I've ever done, because nobody would be able to do what we as a group have been able to do for our country. So I'm working to make the antibody treatment that I received available to anybody that needs it free, because it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. And I view it, I mean, they call it a therapeutic. I view it as a cure, because I didn't feel too good. I didn't have a temperature in a lot of years. All of a sudden, sir, you got a little temperature going there. Oh, that's great. And I woke up, and I'm telling you, it was literally the following day. I couldn't get, and Walter Reed Hospital, one of the great, Walter Reed Military Hospital in the world. But I want to thank Johns Hopkins, too. The one thing when you're president and you're not feeling too good, you're laying in bed, there's about 14 doctors surrounding you. Where are you from? Everyone's like a who's who. But no, what they did is incredible, and we're making that available to everybody that needs it. I've signed an emergency declaration. We're telling everyone to get it approved. And we want to thank Dr. Hahn at the FDA. They're working very, very hard to get it approved very quickly. We're trying to get things approved in a matter of weeks. It used to take years. That includes other drugs for other things, where you'd have many, many years, and a person's terminally ill, and they go to Asia, or they go home. If they had no money, they'd have no choice. They'd go home and they'd die. But we have incredible drugs, but it would take another 4, 5, 6 years. It would take 10 years. We've cut that number down in half, maybe even more than half, for other drugs, cancer drugs, etc. But we have a thing called Right to Try. I talk about it every once in a while. I'm so proud of it. It has had such an incredible impact. Right to Try, it's a great name to me. And it's somebody who's terminally ill, and we have a drug that looks really promising, and they're not allowed to use it because they're afraid it's going to make the person sick. I said the person is going to die. But not that easy, because you had the drug companies didn't want to take the liability, you had the country didn't want to take the liability. The drug companies, as an example, they didn't want to have it on their records because somebody's that sick and it looks bad on their records, the person didn't make it. So I said, what we'll do is we'll set up a different sheet. And maybe we won't even count it if somebody is so sick. And then, of course, you had the insurance companies. They hated the idea. And we got them in a room. And we had a very strong document that there will be no liability to the country, and you have an absolute right to try. So somebody's terminally ill, you have no idea how many people have been saved by doing this. Some incredible stories. So, I mean, that's one of many, many things. That's one of many, many things. People don't even talk about it, but it's been, it's been just an incredible privilege. Through Operation Warp Speed, we will have 100 million vaccine doses before the end of this year. The vaccine will end the pandemic once and for all. And frankly, I'll say it, and they'll hate this. Well, they'll actually love it. Even without the vaccine, the pandemic's going to end. It's going to run its course. It's going to end. They go crazy. He said without the vaccine. Watch. It'll be a headline tomorrow. These people are crazy. Now it's running its course. We're rounding the turn. You see the numbers. We're rounding the turn. And, this state 3 months ago, you know what happened? 3 months ago, we had a surge here. We had a surge in Texas. We had a surge in Arizona. Great governor of Texas, great governor of Arizona, great people. And you have a great governor here. We had surges, and they went up, and they went down. And now you're at your lowest numbers. And you're open, and you didn't close, and it's just amazing, right? It's great. So we're joined today by one of the greatest governors in our country, and I know a lot of good ones, and I can tell you there's some really bad ones too, but this is a great one, Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor. Thank you, Ron. I heard your speech was great, Ron. I heard you did a great job. He's done a great job, and he's been my friend. Hey, Ron, are we going to win the state, please? Okay. If we don't win it, I'm blaming the governor. I'll fire him somehow. I'm going to fire him. I will find a way. Anyway, thank you. And members of Congress and friends of mine and warriors, Matt Gaetz, who we said hello to, Matt. Great guy. Great guy. Is this your area a little bit? No, not too much. But they know him. Everybody knows. No, he's a warrior. He's a fighter. Also, Neil Dunn. Where's Neil? Neil, thank you very much. I like your tie, Neil. I like your suit and your tie very much. That's great. And another man who knows so much about the military, I'll call him a lot, Mike Waltz. Mike. He knows so much about the military. Good. The both of them. The both of them. Good. Great job. Thank you. Great to have you, fellas. Congressional candidate Kat Kamek. She's fantastic. Where's Kat? Aren't you like in a Trump 45 or something? Tell me, how many points up? 16. How much? 16. Well, that's pretty good. That's a good Trump district, I'll tell you. Kat's going to be there. She's going to win it. That's a great job. And a woman who was in charge of Michigan, you all know her. She was in charge of Michigan. Michigan hadn't been won by a Republican in decades and decades. She was horrendous to me. She kept calling me, please, sir, one more speech. Just come to Michigan. You're going to win it. I said, all right. Finally, toward the end, 4 years ago, I said, you know what? That's it. Okay? I'm leaving. That's it. I'm not coming back. That's okay, so you don't have to. We're going to win it. I get a call the following day, so you have to come back for one more speech. And I did it. And we won the great state of Michigan, and she was in charge. Head of the Republican Party now, Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. Oh, she's great. She doesn't stop. How are we doing in Michigan, by the way? I heard. Yeah, poll came out. We're up 1 in Michigan. We're doing well. I mean, we should be up 30 in Michigan. We brought many car plants. You know, they hadn't had a plant for 40 years, and we have many of them being built in Michigan. So we're going to do great in Michigan. Today, we're also praying for all of the families on the Florida Panhandle. I love that Panhandle. I don't know what it is. I know it's a little away from here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Hurricane Sally, the Panhandle, you know, we came and we were doing really well in Florida. And then the Panhandle hadn't been counted yet, right, Matt? And we went out and they said, Trump has just won Florida. I said, wait a minute, they haven't even gotten through it. They said, no, the Panhandle is like 94% or something. They said, if Trump is even coming into the Panhandle, there's nobody going to beat Trump. And we won it pretty easily, I'll tell you, but the Panhandle, so we're with the Panhandle 100%. Great people. Last month, I approved a major disaster declaration for the state of Florida, and I'll be with you all the way, and we're doing some rebuilding. You got hit with a lot of storms and a lot of hurricanes, and we're with you all the way. And, you know, when Ron calls up, he's always calling me, sir, we need more money for this hurricane, that hurricane. We need more money for Lake Okeechobee. You don't care about Lake Okeechobee. Lake Okeechobee is pretty far away. But he wants more. But that's what a governor should be doing, right? When you think about it. I can get angry at him. I can say that's enough. But he's somebody that wants it. And you two senators, by the way, Marco and Rick, they're doing a great job. And they're right now in Washington fighting for our new Supreme Court justice, okay? Marco and Rick. Great people. They're great people. Under my administration, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world, and now we are doing it again. You know what it's called? Make America Great Again again. See all those hats? Make America Great? Make America Great Again again. But I don't want to do it a third time, okay? But we're doing it really nicely. It's coming along at a level that nobody can believe. But these numbers are amazing. In my first 3 years, family income increased by $6,000. 3 years. More than 5 times the gains in all 8 years under the Sleepy Joe / Obama administration. Oh, I got an emergency call today. They say, sir, I'm sorry to tell you, President Obama is going to start campaigning for Sleepy Joe. I said, so what's the problem with that? And they said, well, you know, he's going to start. I said, well, you know, he campaigned harder than Hillary last time, so why do we care? The other thing, he refused to endorse Joe. He knows what's going on up here with Joe. And Obama refused to endorse him. And even after Joe had won, he didn't want to. And then finally, like a long time later, he finally came out and endorsed him. But they called me, they said, you know, Obama's going to start campaigning. I said, is that good or bad? Because I think it's a good thing. Because, you know, they did a lousy job, and I wouldn't be president of the United States if they did a good job. I probably wouldn't have run. And if I did, I probably wouldn't have won, you know. So it's one of those things. They did a lousy job, and that's why I'm your president. African-American income grew 9 times more. Think of that. African-American, and these are numbers that Larry Kudlow given to me right from the book. The great Larry Kudlow. African-American income, think of this, grew 9 times more than it did under Biden and Obama, right? That's a big number. African-American unemployment, Hispanic-American unemployment, and Asian-American unemployment all reached record levels, like levels that nobody sees. It is amazing when Biden sits and he criticizes you, and then I say, wait a minute, it's not like he left 25 years ago. He left 4 years ago, less. And I say, you know, he's always criticizing. And he's not criticizing. He's got guys that write. They write pretty well, too, by the way. He has no idea what he's reading. But he's very critical. And you think, he's been doing this stuff for 47 years. Why didn't he do it before? Why didn't he do it before? We lifted 6.6 million Americans out of poverty. Since the China virus, we have created a record in the history of our country, 11.4 million jobs over just a short period of months. We've already cut the unemployment rate in half, and we're now down to 7.8. And I'll tell you what, I never thought I'd be happy with 7.8. I told you. But when I hear 42%, 38%, it's going to go to a number like nobody in history, I said, we can't let this happen. And we did a hell of a job. Under Biden, it took 30 months to recover more than half of the jobs lost in the crisis. We did it, instead of 30 months, we did it in 5 months. Think of that. Jobs have been recovering 23 times faster than the Obama recovery, which was, by the way, the worst recovery, slowest recovery in the history of our country. Now, they only go back till 1929, so, you know, I don't want to have them say, there was something that happened in 1851, but I don't think. They go back to, I think, 29, all right? Long time. But it's the slowest, the worst recovery. We've stopped businesses from leaving, and factories are pouring back into our country. We've spent the last 4 years reversing the damage Joe Biden inflicted over the last 47 years on NAFTA. We got rid of NAFTA. Did I tell you everyone said you can't do it. You know why you couldn't do it? They said you couldn't do it. You know why? Because it was so good for Mexico, and because it was so good for Canada, they said you'll never pull it off. They have a lot of power in our country, those two countries. I got rid of NAFTA, and now we have the USMCA, which is just kicking in. And the other two countries, we like them both very much, but they're not thrilled. TPP, we wouldn't allow it to happen. That would have destroyed your automobile businesses, right? And China's entry into the World Trade Organization, Joe Biden approved that one, the single worst deal we've ever made, because China was flatlining until that happened, and then they became like a rocket ship. And they are considered, you know, a developing nation. And I said, if they're a developing nation, then we're a developing nation too. Because as a developing nation, you get tremendous bonuses, and it's ridiculous. No more. And by the way, we just won a lawsuit, $7.5 billion. We haven't won them. They're treating us with respect, but we'll find out about the World Trade. And we took ourselves out of the World Health Organization. Is that okay? We took ourselves out of the World Health Organization. Because frankly, you know, we put up 500 million a year. So we have 325 million people. We put up 500 million of World Health, okay? It's not the biggest thing, but it's a lot. We did 500 million. China, 1.4 billion people. They put up 39 million a year. Other than that, it's a very fair deal, okay? This is the kind of stuff that I see this stuff. I could tell you 100 different stories. It's so stupid and so unfair. So we took ourselves out. They're dying to have us back in. I could go back in for about $3 a year. He screams, don't go back. That's the problem. If I went back for $500,000, right? I'd be criticized. The Democrats would say, what a terrible thing to do. It's incredible. Deal after deal. I could tell you hundreds of stories, but we just take care of it all, and we do it really well. For decades, our politicians spent trillions of dollars rebuilding foreign nations, fighting foreign wars, and defending foreign borders. But now we are finally protecting our nation, rebuilding our cities, and we are bringing our jobs, our factories, and our troops back home to the USA. They're coming back. And we've achieved energy independence, and we've done it while protecting our pristine environment. You know, right now, we have the best numbers from an environmental standpoint that we've ever had. All this talk, you know, Paris Accord, which was a total ripoff of our country. But all of this talk, we have the best numbers that we've had ever. Now, ever, I always have to preface it, because these people, ever, meaning, let's say over the last 50 years, because, you know, once you get back too far, we had no people, right? You know, I could say the best in over 200 years. Well, you know, 200 years ago, I wouldn't say we had too many factories. I recently signed an order placing a moratorium on offshore drilling off the coast of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and a place known as Florida. Are you okay with that? You okay with that? You know, the one that wanted it more than anybody else was Florida. Florida didn't want to see sludge coming onto their beaches, so you're not going to have it. So I just signed that up, and so you're all protected, and Matt worked very hard on it. He worked very, very hard on it, and so did your other great people here today, and your governor wanted it very badly, so we got it done. We invested $2.5 trillion in the United States military. We launched the first new branch of the U.S. Armed Forces in 75 years. It's called the Space Force. I brought back NASA, which is now the #1 space center by far in the world. It was a closed-up mess. And we passed VA choice and VA accountability, and we have now a 91% approval with our vets. Never had anything even close. We beat down ISIS, took 100% of the ISIS caliphate in Syria, you saw that, and Iraq. And when I came in, it was a mess. It was all over the place, and we did it. We have generals that are so incredible. The real generals, I'm talking not the paper generals. We have some of them too. We have some highly overrated generals, and we have some great ones, but these guys were unbelievable. We took 100%. Remember, I said, all right, we're coming home. We got 99%. They said, no, the paper, they said, we want 100%. I said, we're at 99. I want to bring them home. No, we want 100. So I stayed for another couple of weeks, and we took 100%. And we killed the leader of ISIS, who's killed so many people, al-Baghdadi. Right? And we took out the world's #1 terrorist and the #1 mass murderer, probably, well, for a long time. Killed many American troops, killed many people. Qasem Soleimani is dead. He's dead. One of the biggest things ever to happen in the
that you might be hearing right now. Obviously, we're not in control of any of that, so we do apologize for that. Hey, I just want to make a special moment to thank our partner for all of our coverage, not only in D.C., but along this journey across this country, is our good friends over at MyPillow. Mike Lindell, my goodness, everybody loves a MyPillow, and of course, you've got the sheets, the pillow itself, you've got the dog bed, some great gifts for this holiday season. Go to mypillow.com, mypillow.com, and if you put the promo code RSBN, that's RSBN, you can get up to 66% off on any of the products there. So anyway, we're glad that you're joining us right now. We have had a little bit of audio issues just because the size of the crowd and the size of the speaker they had set up just wasn't ample enough to get the audio out. So we apologize for some of that audio issues we had earlier, but we do appreciate you joining us. And of course, we are, viewer supported. So go onto our website, rsbnetwork.com/donate, rsbnetwork.com/donate to donate what you can to help us continue this effort of news gathering. And of course, we want to thank our partner over at MyPillow and Mike Lindell. So anyway, you can definitely go check out the website, mypillow.com, and definitely check out some great gift ideas for this holiday season. Remember to put out the promo code RSBN to receive up to 66% off. We'll go back to the coverage.
African Americans in this country at that Republican National Convention, but the Democrats want to tell you that every black person is not for Trump. That's a lie. Stole our votes. We tripled those numbers, but you don't see them in the number of the polls. You see them in the crowd. You see them in the audience, but the media want to say that blacks don't like Trump. That's a lie. Share with your friends, share with your families, get the word out there that democracy is real. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, stand for justice and tranquility, domestic tranquility. Where's the tranquility in all of this? Where do we have it? Kamala want to be Black Harris. She wants to be black. Let me tell you who I am. I am a descendant of slaves. My grandfather, my great-great-grandfather is from Georgia. I am an ADOS, an African-American descendant of slaves. We fought in this country along the white colonists. We are family. We do not rule by immigrants or illegal immigrants. I was brought here as commoditized good trades and service, but we built this country together. Are we divided? Divided? Afraid? Scared? Come on now. Now you listen to me. When you leave here today, you go on your social media, you let them know that we are real in this country. We will not live by the blood and not trying to pick us up. Immigrants, illegal immigrants, migrants, other people in other countries that are dictating our votes and our numbers. Is that America? So we want that to be America. And now is your time. You cannot be afraid. You've got to infuriate the people in your community, in your families, in your neighborhood. You have to let everything to rise within you. This president that we have is historical. It's unbelievable. It's a president that we've never had. I have been a Republican all of my life. I didn't just walk away. I've been a Republican all my life. And as a Republican, you're just running that down there? I stand united with my family and with my friends and with my new Republicans to tell you to stand fast in prayer, stand fast in hope, and don't live in fear. 4 more years. 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 Now listen. Homelessness and sickness is raging across this country because of the Democrats. In California, we're down to 6% blacks. There are no African American people. Listen to me, I'm not lying to you. There are no African American people in Los Angeles right now. We are dying by the breeze. Homelessness is tragic for blacks and white Americans. And we need to change that. Bubonic plague could be coming back. Hepatitis A could be coming back because they don't believe in the sanity and the safety of America. Joe Biden is talking about opening up the borders. Do you want the borders open? We don't want those borders open. Build the wall. administration who understands what we are and where we come from. And we stand united with you, all of you. But do not live in fear. Live in hope. Have the opportunity to tell your friends that this democracy, this country will not bow down easily. We will not go without a fight. We will stand united because we are the United States of America.
Kick back him. God bless you. Kick back him. Kick back him. Kick back him.
Stop the steal. Stop the steal. Stop the steal. Y'all having a good time? I know we're hot. I know we're sweaty. We don't even have a permit, and I love the First Amendment for that. Now, I got to tell you, just like a little programming note, there are a lot of influential people up here. Let's just give them a round of applause, because they're the real backbone of Stop the Steal. We're able to touch all 50 states and over 100 million people online because we pulled together, sacrificed our brands, pulled a little money together, and gone to whatever state Donald Trump needs us in. And there's plenty of people who won't have a time to speak, but we're going to keep hanging out. We're going to do our thing. But I wanted a local to come. This is Eugene Yu. He's ran for Congress a couple of times, and we're going to use him to primary another dirtbag, Eugene Yu.
Why, hello, Georgian. My name is Eugene Yu from the Gwinnett County from Georgia. Look around. We all look different. We all look different. We all look great. Let me tell you one thing. We as Americans, how in the hell we let Chinese communists take our election? They must pay for whatever they done to COVID-19. Especially this rhino Republican. We must clean our house. Let me tell you, here in Georgia, we got a governor who's a Republican, lieutenant governor is a Republican, state of secretary is a Republican, but we can't even control our election. What stupid is that? I'll tell you, you are all true American. We love you. We will continue to fight. We will never let down. And God bless each and every one of you. And God bless Trump. 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 I'm from the 1st Cavalry in the U.S. Army. We got a year from over there and over there. They're on both sides.
Yo, I like the po-pos, but I like our rights more, right? And we've been peaceful. We're going to continue to cooperate. But I want to give a big cheer for the boys in blue because they're moving in on Antifa right now. Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! But if they want to fight, we'll punch back. Roll away! This is Georgia! Shamika.
Some say he's racist and tweets like a kid while overlooking all the good shit that he did. I ain't ashamed of my president a little bit. I'd rather have an alpha male than a little bitch. See, I heard here in Georgia that the governor doesn't want to do an audit. See, Stacey Abrams told us that he couldn't be trusted. I thought that she was just lying through her teeth, literally. But it seems that he really can't be trusted. And like Scott Pressler said, we will remember this when it's time for re-election. We will remember this. See, some people think that we're just walking away from the Democrat Party and that's it. But I'm telling you, we're walking away from everyone who is stiff and stuffy and scared to fight. And we're here in Georgia, but listen, I got my eye on every Republican that's sitting quiet. I got my eye on every Republican that's not standing up. And I don't care where I have to go. I'll drag Lindsey Graham out the closet if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. See, they say that black people don't support Trump. But right now they got one who will tie her hair to the back, put Vaseline on her face, and fight back. See, I'm the one that'll tell Black Lives Matter and Antifa, this ain't what you want. See, I come from a place where walk the dog means something totally different. So we are not going to put up with them trying to steal this election. We want you to audit the votes. Because listen, the only votes that should count are American votes. No habla inglés than ICE. We will continue to fight. We will not be silent. We will speak out and we will challenge every person that is lying to us. No more silence. No more being nice. And let me tell you something, Black Lives Matter and Antifa. You can step this way if you want to. This will be the day you get your ass kicked.
USA! You know, I can't help but think. I can't help. I can't help but think of one person here who's missing. Who knows the name Andrew Breitbart? Andrew was a friend of mine. He was a friend of Megan's and maybe a couple of other people here. And he was ripped away from us in 2012. He was changing the Republican Party for better. I'll never forget when I met Andrew in New Orleans, 2010. We're at a conference, I'm a deputy there, and he gets up there, unshaven, no tie, and starts cussing in front of all these blue-haired Christian women. And they cheered him. Those that we were in, and I think that we're in a deeper shit right now. So I want to do something in honor of Andrew. Take out your phone and hold it up. Andrew used to do this at all of his Tea Party rallies. Hold up your phone. Now I want you to know an internal policy that we have at Stop the Steal. These guys are the heroes. They do the media. I avoid the media. I do the secretary bitch work.
Yeah, you go.
But what's become apparent to me is that the media is dead. And now, as Andrew used to do IWO journalist. And we want to be your editors. Go ahead and text the Red Wave to 797979. That's the Red Wave to 797979. This movement will deplatform the deplatformers. If we text each other, call each other, email each other, we don't fucking need the media. Don't worry, we'll end this rally in prayer. But right now we're going to cuss a little bit. Now, how many people saw a viral hashtag, Maidengate? Maidengate. They are using the old names of women to steal votes for Democrats. We can verify it, and Lauren here is the woman who discovered it. We've been working with the Trump campaign. We've given them the information. They're taking the affidavits. It's not just Dominion. The Democrats have been stealing in every way you can imagine and in every state, and there's some Republicans in on it. Lauren Brown from Maidengate.
Go up one more. You can do it. You can do it. Turn your feet around. There you go.
Sorry, hi.
We got you.
I was not planning on speaking today. What? Sorry, hello. I am L, or some bitch I know, or I was, until Twitter deplatformed me the other day for exposing Maidengate. For an old joke I made, they kicked my ass off. But I'm back on Twitter. They don't know it yet. But anyways, what I need you guys to do, I need you to go and check. This is not just women. This is just how I discovered it. Go and check your old voter registrations. It could be under an old name if you've been married or divorced. It could be if you moved. Men, women, everyone. Go and check your voter registration because it is happening. It is everywhere. And if you find it, you send me an email to maidengate@protonmail.com and you find me and we're going to put this out there, okay? And I want to see, where's the media right now? Where's the establishment media? I cannot wait to put you out of business. Section 230 is getting repealed. And we are the news now, so watch out. That's all I got to say about that. Oh, maidengate@protonmail.com. Or you can go to maidengate.com. That'll also work. Or you can find me on Twitter again. It's @Shalady. Yeah, come find me.
Stop the steal! 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 I think I'm gonna go a little bit off script. How many people we got here? Who would estimate this crowd?
About 4,000.
I think we got a couple thousand people here, don't we? I wonder what the media will call it. First, let's give a shout out again to the police because there's no permit, but they gave us the streets. Whose streets? Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. I think we got an army brewing. Now, I apologize for the security. Antifa wants to kill our asses.
I gotta talk to Yoda. Bring them out!
I think that would be a big mistake, wouldn't it?
Capitol Police.
You can make us martyrs if you want.
Your contact with Uzi LNO.
I want a pastor to come up here. He's been put on Roger Stone's Stop the Steal Committee. That's affiliated with StopTheSteal.us as well. And I want him to say the Lord's Prayer. I've asked, last night I was on the phone with 40 of our state coordinators, and I directed them that we should have an Our Father at every Stop the Steal rally from now and forevermore. This isn't just a political war. This is an info war. This is a spiritual war. And we're going to fight with all the weapons we've got.
Well, my name is Pastor Brian Gibson. I've been fighting all year for the First Amendment rights of our churches. How many believe that Jesus is still king? Amen. Come on. He's the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. He was and is to come. And I know this about Jesus. Jesus is the Lamb that shed his blood for the sins of the world. Somebody say amen. But he's not just a lamb, he is also a lion that will return to execute judgment upon the nations. His feet will land on the Mount of Olives. He will walk down through the Kidron Valley, up to the Temple Mount, and he will take his seat over the entire earth. And I say one day we're going to put the government upon his shoulders, and the church said, amen. I want you to begin to rally every pastor, every preacher, every man of God in America to stand up like an Elijah against Ahab and Jezebel. Come on, somebody. We don't want a nation that worships Baal. We want a nation that worships the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Come on, I see patriots and I see Americans. And I'll tell you, America did not birth the church, but the church birthed America. And if America will stand, it will be because the church has stood. And I'll tell you, I believe we're going to stand in the evil day, and God's going to strengthen us supernaturally, and God's going to pour out a revival in America from New York to LA, from Canada to Mexico. I'm telling you, Jesus is going to be glorified, and the Spirit of God will be poured out upon all flesh. Now, what I want to do is I want to lead you in the Lord's Prayer. If you would pull your hats off, bow your heads. Come on, let's pray the Lord's Prayer. Everybody say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever, and ever. In Jesus' mighty name. God bless you.
Amen. Amen. That's beautiful. I guess it's my turn for a speech. Not really. All I want you to do is this. StopTheSteal.us is where we are organizing. We can't rely on social media. The media did a hit piece because we registered also as a PAC. And the reason they did is they know that Ali is making a hit list. Anyone who doesn't put out a press release for a special session, and I don't give a damn what state they're in, they're going on our primary list, right? We are single-issue voters, aren't we? It is a republic or it is death. Victory or 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 death. This isn't a controversial comment. Our founders said join or die. They beat the strongest military force in the world. 1776. The deep state doesn't have the military on their side, do they? China doesn't have the military on their side, do they? If they marched 1 million Chinamen into this country, you know what would happen?
Chinese system.
So anyway, I want you to remain organized on stopthesteal.us. Call those state legislators in those states. Stay updated on the news. We're going to rally. And this is all going to end. The pathway for Trump to get to 270 is going to end through Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. So when these organizers say, I need 20,000 bodies in Wisconsin, y'all are going to grab a bus, a flight, a walk, right? We're broadcasting through Right Side Broadcasting. I want you guys, the president is watching, so let's give him a huge shout out. Trump.
Yeah, please, quick. There you go.
Should we go to the governor's mansion tonight?
Okay.
All right, so let's crowdsource this movement, and we'll see if security gets pissed off at me or my co-organizers. What's a good time to meet at the governor's mansion tonight? All right, so here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. All right. Trump. Damn it.
MAGA. Hurry, guys, bring it up. There you go. Ali, come on with it.
I want us to continue to occupy these streets, even if there's not a speaker, but this does conclude the Stop the Steal portion. There's probably going to be other people who get up and speak. Yeah. But, you know, I just got to say that for legal reasons and all kinds of other things. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Deanna, call Alex. We're gonna call Alex.
I'm Ron. We're doing the texting game again.
Let me survey the crowd so my co-organizers know who you are. Who here watches Nick? Yeah! I thought so. Who here watches Alex? Yeah!
Summon him.
And by the way, thank you, Ali, for organizing this amazing rally. It's Is there any way in hell that Georgia turned blue? Is there any way in hell that this country is blue? Because this is MAGA country! These people are savages. They are so crazy. They are nuts. And we are not going to let them steal
Anybody in my bubble over here?
Anybody in my bubble over here? Our vote away.
Anyone in my bubble over here?
Never be a Marxist, socialist, globalist country. We're trying to usher in the Great Reset. Bullshit. They're trying to destroy our families. And are we going to let them destroy our families? Are we going to let them destroy God? Are we going to let them separate our families under the guise of COVID? Are we going to let them continue to muzzle us with a green mask? Are we going to let them bend us over, stick a needle, a vacuum needle in us? Are we going to just let them take that we ask? No, we're not going to let them die.
It's my land. If you go somewhere over there, you can have it there too. Nah, we're not. We're done. Anywhere you want. Let's go.
To be in our homes for Thanksgiving.
We're going to walk down about 20 yards and then we're going to loop right back. You understand?
No, baby. We are going to take this country back.
Excuse us, guys. Excuse us, guys.
Country back, baby.
We got a speaker. Louder speaker.
People should not be afraid.
Let's put the board right up there.
The government
Sorry, buddy.
should be afraid of the people.
I want to blast this thing, man. All right, that's fine. I guess we can just start up right here. Put this one in there. That way you got a four-way.
We're going to do on the count of three. We're going to do a war song.
Speaker.
To the other side of the ladder.
Where's your speaker?
Right here. I'm going to leave this here. Yeah, we're going to swap it. Okay, so it's like a that's on the shutdown.
Okay, we need to get this. We're about to clear this road. You don't want to be here. We're right side broadcasting. Thank you. Want me to clear the road?
Hey, you guys, we gotta clear the road. We gotta clear the road. Hey, if they have the military to roll out a vaccine, we can help them out. When you're doing your job, you have to get a vaccine to do your job. Why are we missing the road, by the way?
That the situation is hopeless and that we are alone. But we now know that there are 74 million Trump-loving patriots in this country that have had enough. I don't know about you, but I'm done being pushed around by the global special interests of the world. I'm going to tell you another thing. I am done being tricked and betrayed and abused by the Republican establishment. The Trump revolution began in 2016 as a revolution against the Republican Party. The Republican Party, which before stood for only the donors and the special interests. President Trump fought them, and he made the Republican Party represent us, the American people. Once again, we find ourselves fighting the same battle. As President Trump fights for his political life, we look in this state and in this country that the Republican Party is nowhere to be found. Where are the 2024 hopefuls like Nikki Haley and Ben Sass and Marco Rubio and Dan Crenshaw?
We just said get out, we'll close after.
They are nowhere to be found, and it is a disgrace.
Look up RSBN if you're not familiar with them.
RSBN?
RSBN. Very nice. It's a beautiful place.
I was in Montgomery and then DC and now I'm here. And she's from Texas and she's made the same trip.
Well, we're glad you all are here with us today.
Yeah, what's the Auburn connection?
We're all Auburn graduates. So we like Auburn. That's all.
Well, that's good. I know you have great integrity.
Thank you. Hey Joe, can you hear me? Josie, can you hear me? Reply in the chat if you can. Say War Eagle if you can hear me.
1980 grad.
Awesome. Josie, copy. Josie, do you copy? Okay, awesome. All right, thank you. Mike! We are live right now with Right Side Broadcasting Network. We are standing on the streets right outside the state capitol here in Atlanta, Georgia. There was a Stop the Steal rally, a very peaceful rally. Nothing was going on. And then down the street a little bit, right now we're at the corner of Washington and Mitchell. We have all different forms of law enforcement that have shown up today. They're including riot gear. They are here. They are, I would say, the best description right now and usefulness is that they're separating the two groups. There appear to be some Antifa members. I have yet to really see anything going on over there. And then, of course, thousands of President Trump supporters. The riot gear, riot cops are in two separate groups, lines, as you can see right now. One horizontal to Mitchell Street and the other on Washington Street. This is separating those two groups. I think it's a preventative measure to keep them from clashing. We can keep in mind the sunlight is still out, so I don't think Antifa is going to do anything yet. I think we're still safe. I think it's just a precautionary method. The Atlanta police were making sure that this road where the rally was happening was clear because there were no permits for this rally today. So that was kind of to be expected. It was a free-for-all earlier today. It was a good event, a peaceful event. However, rules are rules, and they did not want us on the street. They are clearing the street. They began doing that at 2 p.m. today. Please note the official rally time for the state capitol rally was today at noon. So they gave at least 2 hours of rally time before things really got heated, a good bit escalated, and the cops decided to show up. Mike, what is your analysis on what's going on here right now?
Well, I want to reiterate that this, despite not having a permit, this event has been 100% peaceful from what I've seen. I mean, you have a lot of patriots, a lot of people fired up. I know some of the audience watching have not been very happy with some of the commentary, as they've used a lot of profanity. And obviously, you guys know we have no control over that. We can't really control or predict what anyone's going to say. But other than some passionate speeches, it's been largely peaceful. I haven't heard of or seen any violence here today. It's been very good. Obviously, things have changed significantly since this morning, as you have several thousand more people here, and now the riot police are here as well. So we're just going to bring you coverage of whatever happens here. This is what we're committed to doing at Right Side Broadcasting, is bringing you coverage of what's going on in our country. And this is what's going on. This appears to be ground zero of where the election is being fought. This is a battleground state, quite literally, as there's the vote count, there's the audit, there's Brian Kemp. There's just a lot of moving parts in this, and it's actually really hard to keep up with, but we're doing our best as far as that goes. What I do want to do is jump into the chat here and read off some super chats. I see we got one from Sadia. It says, thanks RSBN, Yahweh bless you for the great work you do. Also, G.A. Mutt, thank you for your super chat. And Wilbur Crick, I want to appreciate you for your super chat. Now, we do have 35,000 people watching, which is amazing for a rally that does not include the president. I mean, usually we'll get this kind of viewership when we're just warming up, you know, like when we're on the risers waiting for the president to arrive. So this is pretty impressive, to say the least. But thanks to everyone that's tuned in. If you guys would do us the biggest favor, do us the biggest favor right now, and please hit the thumbs up on this stream so it can move up through YouTube's algorithms. Also, share. Get this stream in front of some eyeballs. Send it to somebody via text message, email, or you can tweet it out or put it on Facebook. However you can, share it out. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe to RSB Network. Subscribe and hit that bell notification so you do not miss a single event that we cover. We are just going to bring you on the ground reporting. A lot of these events that we're bringing coverage of are impromptu events. Like, we don't know what's going on even 48 hours in advance, and oftentimes they're unplanned, they're unorganized, it's very chaotic, but we do our best to try to condense it and synthesize it, make it, you know, I guess view-worthy, if you could just say that. I mean, but this is what we're going to be doing. This is the nature of the business. There's a lot of moving parts right now, so we're just going to bring you the coverage. And right now, it appears to be some kind of standoff, I guess. I can't really tell from my vantage point. There's some patriots kind of shouting something, and I guess that must be because Antifa or somebody's on the other side of the street. BLM, I can't really tell from here, but they're looking in a certain direction and shouting things. And yeah, that's what's going on, guys. So we're going to be doing this. This is what we do right now. This is where the fight is right now, in Atlanta, Georgia, outside of the state capitol. And I did hear one of the speakers say that the plan is to go to the governor's mansion, which is not too far from here, I believe. They want to go to the governor's mansion tonight, possibly. So I don't know how that's going to look, or if there's any kind of security plan in place. I don't know, but it sounds like it could get pretty testy. Who knows? But nonetheless, we're going to continue reporting live here. I'm your host, Mike Nificent. For those of you who can't, you obviously can't see me, but if you're wondering who's speaking right now, that's me. This is me, guys. I'm reading your super chats here. I appreciate them coming in. You guys, your super chats, your donations are keeping this network going. We're almost entirely viewer funded, so your super chats, your donations help keep this afloat. We are going to several rallies, several organized and unorganized gatherings, planned events. We'll just call them planned events, whether they have permits or not. We are committed to going to all of them and bringing you coverage. And the best way we can do that is by you donating. So if you would please go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. Again, rsbnetwork.com/donate. You can also go to our, you can mail checks to our physical address, which is 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Again, that's 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. Now, I'm going to read a few more super chats here, and then I'll tell you about our... One second here. Hold on, guys. I want to tell you guys about our partner for the day, but I have to pull up the script because I don't have it memorized. I really don't. But I'm going to read super chats here while I get that pulled up. Perhaps my wonderful CEO in the studio can send that to me. I don't have it in front of me. Thank you, Devin. Devin says, thank you for broadcasting the truth. That's what we're committed to doing. Uh-oh, we got movement. Riot gear, or they're mobilizing for one reason or another, and I'm not sure what that is, but they've gated things off. So it just feels like there's something's happening. Something's happening. Whatever it is, you're going to see it live right here. Anyway, Wayne says, congrats RSBN, Liz, Mike, and all the RSBN correspondents. You all are awesome. Paul James, thank you for your super chat. Jiller says, God bless you, Right Side Broadcasting, for all you do for those of us who are in the fight but unable to be there. Stop the steal. Carla, thank you. And who else we got? Dan, thank you for your super chat, Dan. You're appreciated. WS Rain, thank you for your super chat. And Devin Bryan says, Antifa is fascist. Anti-fascists aren't Antifa. Big facts. Couldn't agree with you more. They're literally fascists. Like the definition, textbook definition of fascism is what Antifa does. They shut people down. They try to shut down your ability to speak. They'll punch you in the face if you don't agree with them 100%. I mean, they're just violent, anarchist, communists. I mean, who can honestly deny this? Matt Helminger? Thank you.
I need the script.
Okay. I'm going to tell you guys about our partner for the day before I go any further. Our partner for the day is MyPillow. We know that getting a restful night's sleep is crucial to waking up on the right side of the bed. Make sure your sleep is luxurious as possible with any of MyPillow's products. They have over 100 products to choose from, ranging from travel pillows to dog beds, memory foam mattress toppers, Giza Dream Sheets, and more. Check out their inventory online at www.mypillow.com. And if you use the promo code RSBN at checkout, you can get 66% off of your entire order. Again, that's RSBN at the checkout. Use that as your promo code at www.mypillow.com. Support Mike Lindell at mypillow.com. Thank you very much. That is our partner for the day, guys. mypillow.com. Now, back to the super chats because they're coming in and we appreciate all of you guys. Even if you're not buying pillows, I think you should buy some pillows. I mean, everybody needs a pillow. Might as well get it from mypillow.com. I wish we had a better view or vantage point of what's going on, but we're staying safe over here and we are on an elevated platform, so this is about as high up as we can get. But it looks like there's something going on over there. Nonetheless, you got riot police in position in case it pops off. And we've got law enforcement over here on our side, so. I'm gonna read a few more super chats. Contagious Melody, thank you for your super chat. Angie Stewart just upgraded her membership to the Reagan Club. Thank you. We appreciate you. Mari C, thank you. Leon Smith says, keep up the good work. God bless you guys. Trump 2020, stop the steal. Speaking of God, our creator, that's one thing that they did over there, but it looks like they've officially cleared it out, by the way, down the street where they were speaking. They finished up with the Lord's Prayer. So I just want to say that a lot of these gatherings, pretty much every single one I've been to, has been peaceful, patriotic, and prayerful. The 3 P's: peaceful, patriotic, and prayerful. That's it. No violence, no flipped over trash cans, no burning buildings, none of that. The only time I've seen violence ensue is when it's instigated from the other side. But thankfully, at least thus far, there's been none of that today. But it does appear that this event is 100% over, as they have cleared it out completely. There's nobody that I can see or hear down the street that is shouting through their bullhorn. Now it looks like the attention is turning to the Antifa members over here that are holding up signs that say "No Fascist USA." I find that hilarious, because if they had their way, they would come over here and snatch this microphone away from me, because I don't espouse the correct communist talking points. If I were chanting the correct political slogans, they'd allow me to speak. But since I don't, they would say that I'm a fascist, and they would then take my microphone from me. Nothing says fighting fascism like trying to destroy someone's right to speak and express themselves. But we're going to walk over here and see what's going on. We're going to get as close as we can without getting in trouble. This is what we're going to do, guys. So let's see what's happening. Hey, it's a very small group of people here, but it looks like it's a small group of Antifa BLM. I mean, even you can't see it from here, but even their like microphone, they have like a tiny little megaphone. It looks like they got it at Walmart. It's tiny, so their voices aren't really effective. But nonetheless,
Black Lives Matter is a corrupt Marxist organization.
But you got Antifa BLM over here, guys. I would say there's not more than 15 people here. So guys, yeah, as you can imagine. So the police, law enforcement are standing in the way of the Patriots here on the other side, and I guess the combination of Antifa and BLM. How do you even tell them apart, by the way? I know Antifa covers up, but how do you really know if somebody's Antifa or BLM? And I love what this guy's saying. How BLM is completely ineffective. And so basically what's going on is they're shouting back and forth. Now what the guy with the bullhorn is saying is how BLM does absolutely nothing for all the homeless black people in Atlanta. Like, you can look down the line here. There's literally homeless people just sitting here in Atlanta. And this is under Democrat leadership. If they care about homeless people, they care about poor black people, why are there so many homeless black people in Atlanta? I'm just saying, what's the holdup? Explain to me how Republicans are holding it back. It's white people, it's Trump, it's the police. Explain to me why in Democrat-controlled cities they have high taxes, and the higher the taxes there are, the more homeless and despair you see in those cities. I mean, it's true. LA, San Francisco, even here in Atlanta, as Atlanta is now apparently a Democrat stronghold. I mean, at least according to our media that told us the election is over, right? Okay. This looks like yeah, they have nothing to say. So yeah, they're just exercising their First Amendments back and forth. Antifa, they're writing, look at this. They're holding up stuff that they wrote on a piece of paper. It says peace. I don't know. Can we zoom in on that little piece of paper? He wrote it with ink. Look at that, guys. Peace. I want peace. I mean, I get it, but it just seems ineffective. I mean, he got a little ink pen and wrote it on a notepad. And we know it's going to end up in the garbage because these people are hypocrites. They don't recycle. They don't care about the environment. White silence is violence is another sign that I see here, and it makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. All we can really do is pray, guys, because this is spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare. Antifa and BLM are definitely doing the work of Satan. It's very obvious when they're out there assaulting people, they would kill people if they could. They've done it, obviously. We've seen it. We saw it in cities like Portland. Nonetheless, you see what's happening out here, guys. This is the extent of the day now that they have essentially closed down or they shut down the street rally or the march. The Stop the Steal rally was over because they did not, if you're just tuning in, they did not have a rally for it. So they're just shouting back and forth, guys. We can't really pick up everything they're saying. Oh, they have cans of soup. It looks like they might be looking to throw cans of soup at people. So again, who's violent? Because if you're holding up a can of soup and you're not handing it to a homeless person, my guess is you don't have the best intent with that can of soup. I don't know. You, the viewer, what do you think? There's a guy over there with his face covered holding up a can of soup, and then there's a homeless guy sitting right next to him. It looks to me like he's wanting to throw that can of soup and hit someone because that's what demons do. They want to assault people. It's demonic. You just want to hit somebody for no reason when you could actually do something good, do the Lord's work and feed somebody. It looks like he wants to throw that can of soup at somebody. I'm just saying, man. What is actually happening? For any liberals watching, explain to me how this makes sense. You don't have to like Trump supporters, but you don't have. Hold on one sec. I'm going to pass over to Liz.
All right, thank you guys. We want to, Joe, let's make sure the audio is still on. Let me check. Want to make a quick correction. As far as MyPillow goes, we are so thankful for the partnership, but it is up to 66% off, not 66% off everything. So it's going to vary on what products you're looking at on the website. Again, MyPillow.com has been an absolutely incredible partner. Mike Lindell himself is a patriot, doing so many things, upholding conservative values, and he has really been out there campaigning hard for President Trump. So if you want to help support him and one of his incredible companies, and in turn supporting RSBN, you can go to www.mypillow.com and use code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your entire order. Again, that is your up to 66% off your entire order, and they have over 100 products you can choose from, ranging from memory foam mattress toppers, My Giza Dream Sheets, dog beds, towels, anything you can think of. They have it on that website pretty much. It is the perfect time for Christmas coming right around the corner. To give you guys a quick hack, what I'm doing is ordering some of their super soft towels. My CEO, Joe Seals, actually just ordered some. He said he literally texted me and was like, Liz, these things are so soft. And he bought all of them without even using a discount code, because this was right before we got this incredible code for you guys. So I'm going to buy one for each of my family and friends and have them monogrammed, because who doesn't love something that's just personalized? And it makes it a lot more meaningful. So that's a great Christmas gift hack. Go to mypillow.com, use code RSBN at checkout for up to 66% off your entire order. Again, make sure you guys are following at RSB Network. We're on Twitter and Instagram as well, so you can follow us on our social medias at RSB Network. Right now, what you're watching, if you're just now tuning in, there's a lot of questions. What's going on, Liz? Why are there riot gear here? So what's going on? It was a MAGA march on the street we're right now at the corner of Mitchell and Washington Street, right at the Georgia State Capitol. And Antifa was on one street, we were on another, and I think the reason that it was so peaceful is because these officers were here and they were able to separate the two groups from clashing. I think I don't have to explain which group was coming in for not the right reasons. One group simply came to have a peaceful protest, and Antifa showed up to do what they do best. They're angry, they are using their usual scare tactics. Most of them are wearing all black. They've got soup cans with them. I'm not sure if they're ready to use those as projectiles or what, but as you can see, I mean, police force alone, there's about 2 police officers for the MAGA group over here, as opposed to the now 50 SWAT and police officers that are all facing Antifa right now. I think it's obvious at this point where the anger lies and where this domestic threat lies within. Of course, it is the terrorist organization that came here to do No, nothing good as usual when Antifa shows up. So far, honestly, I'd still say it's a relatively peaceful protest. And we want to thank all the law enforcement that has shown up today to continue for it to be this way. Again, with two opposing sides on anything, things can get tricky. But it's interesting. It's very interesting here. This is not what we're used to broadcasting, but we're excited to be here and excited to be able to provide you with this feed, just because I feel like it's something that the world needs to see. And being a media network, it's important to give both sides. So right now we have shown these marches all morning, support for President Trump, and now you have to see what you deal with when you come out to support President Trump. You're never out here as a conservative to march in peace, no matter what you want to do. So we have to deal with Antifa pretty much anywhere we go. It's something it's second nature to me at this point. Haven't really been scared at any moment I've been here, thanks to law enforcement and the city of Atlanta. I'm from here, and of course I am keeping my head on a swivel, so thank you for everyone who has shown their worry. But right now we are in the lion's den. We are right in the middle of this right here, and we're excited to be here. I see one of my friends, a member of the press, over on the Antifa side, so we'll see if he's got some good photos later on. But I think it's going to, if I had a guess, just based on I'd say like body language and stuff, I don't really see it escalating much at this point unless something absolutely crazy happens. The Antifa group that is on this side, there's a larger group on the other side of the street, if you're able to see, but as far as this side of the street goes, there's maybe just a dozen or so. They're not yelling at this point. There's one young white woman who seems a little aggressive and angry. Looks like they're being moved down as well, so that'll be a little bit
Can I get your number?
better in terms of not being able to yell at each other and antagonize each other quite so much. Why did Antifa feel the need to come to this rally here today? They just like to incite violence, I guess. That's pretty much what they used to. I don't know what it is, but everywhere I go, Antifa follows. We were in Washington, D.C. just this past last weekend. It was absolutely awful. People were lighting things on fire, knocking people out, stealing hats, harassing people, physically violating them, a whole mess of things. Basically, the city, Freedom Plaza where I was almost entirely shut down. Couldn't go to dinner, couldn't leave the hotel. And here we are in Atlanta. We wanted to cover a peaceful protest. We wanted to show what was going on, the support for President Trump, and Antifa showed up. But they're not getting their way. We did have an incredible two groups today. We covered what we wanted to cover. We had the first one at the CNN headquarters. That was at 10 a.m. That was the Walkaway Movement Save America rally, and this was the Stop the Steal rally at the state capitol that started at noon. So when the police arrived, the SWAT arrived, it wasn't until 2 p.m., just so you have a timeline of when these events happened. That means there was the next 2 hours almost exactly of the speakers and the groups and people being out in the streets being able to peacefully protest. Also worth noting, I know a lot of people are upset. They didn't want to stop protesting in these streets, but there were no permits for these events, so they shouldn't have necessarily been in the streets to begin with. I believe that 2 hours was kind of generous given the fact that the group didn't have a permit. And with that being said, we'll toss it back to Mike, see if he has any current thoughts on the situation. Mike?
Pillow hit?
No. What's going on?
Okay. So they've cleared things out considerably, significantly here. I got caught up a little bit. I was on the other side of this fence here, and law enforcement is pushing the crowd back. They're moving them further down the street. They've separated, dispersed the crowd, the Antifa crowd. I guess they felt like tensions were getting a little too hot and they were concerned for violence or whatever, but they cleared it out. And so we're just hanging out on the street corner, guys. This is what's happening here. I got our tripod here. I'm just going to lean up against the fence. Tensions are hot, man. This is a representation of what's going on in our country right now. People are stressed out. They're tense. There's something going on over here. I'm not sure what, but they're getting in position to move people around, and I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm just standing in what we've made as a little makeshift press area. Everybody over here is kind of recording stuff, and it looks like they're trying to move people out. I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever it is, you're going to see it live here. We're going to bring it to you live. But God bless everybody that's watching. God bless everyone that's tuned in. If you would, do us the biggest favor and hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to RSB and hit the bell notification so you don't miss a single post. We're going to be doing this from now until whenever. This is what we're doing here, but appreciate you. We've got 36,000 watching. We need 36,000 thumbs up. Please, everybody, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Trish Osborne. Oh, sorry. Trish Oscribe. Sorry. Trish says, ask Jesus to be your Lord and Savior. He is coming soon. It sure feels that way, doesn't it? Grace Kim, thank you for your super chat. Monica Morris, thank you for your super chat. Wilbur Crick, thank you for your super chat. And I think that's it. We're caught up on super chat. Yeah, it looks like the riot team is leaving as things are, I guess, calmer. I guess it's quote unquote safer. They've pushed Antifa way down the block. And honestly, guys, there was not more than maybe 15 that at least I could see. One of them had a can of soup. Again, they had a can of... Yeah, it's right side. What's going on? I'm just talking about how Antifa has... Hey. Hi. I'm just talking about how Antifa is standing there with a can of soup. Obviously, they didn't come out here to... Eating? Well, no, it was a full can of soup. I mean, they weren't going to feed the homeless. So you have to wonder what they were going to do with that can of soup. It's unfortunate. Hey.
Trump 2020.
Trump
2020.
Where are you guys from?
Originally New Jersey, but I live here in Georgia now.
Originally from Boston, but I've been here for over 20 years.
So what are your thoughts? I've only been to Atlanta a few times, and this is a sad scene over here, this downtown. What's going on with the city of Atlanta and Georgia?
It's just... Well, I think the management of the city is a little corrupt. They're being bought. So... And
it's a little Democrat?
We're a little worried about Kemp, but hopefully he pulls through and does the special session.
What is going on with Brian Kemp? Why is he not doing his job? It appears he doesn't care about this election or this country.
I think a lot of people are really shocked because he was doing a really good job, and it was last minute. It was so last minute that he changed up. So we don't know yet. Mm-hmm. We're holding out hope.
Yeah, I find it interesting because I live in the state of Florida, and that's the only swing state, if you notice, the only swing state that got it right. We got it right. We had our count in, and we're the third largest state. We've got 21 million people in our state, and we got the election results the same night, even though Fox News didn't want to call it. But that's another story. But we had minimal fraud and corruption and shady ballots being dropped off. Do you know why?
Well, I think we all know why. They want to get Biden in.
No, I'm saying, do you know why Florida didn't have any issues?
Well, I think the governor at this point is doing a really good job. I have friends that live down there, and they're really proud of him, so he's not being bought.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Ron DeSantis did an amazing job with this election. He did the common sense thing. He fired that rotten Brenda Snipes out of Broward County, or I think it was Palm Beach County, one of those two counties that has had so many issues over the years with their corruption. And that's really all it takes, is just a leader willing to fight for the truth. And really, truth and transparency is all anyone's asking for.
Right, but there's a lot of money behind this, and it's not just in the United States. So we know that it's all over. There's big banks, big corps, big tech. It's a very scary and dangerous world, this other side.
It's almost as if corruption is the real global pandemic. What do you think?
Absolutely. And I think the world's coming together, and they want Donald Trump in.
Absolutely. God bless you. Thank you. Appreciate you. So that was a great interview. We got to, I would love to do interviews. You guys know that's one of my favorite things to do, is interview people. And we got to interview a couple patriots out here that relocated to Georgia, probably because the taxes are low and, they probably had their reasons. But now it appears that Georgia is making a shift to the left. I mean, I've seen it all day in Atlanta. It just looks terrible out here. I mean, lots of homeless people in the streets. I mean, buildings that look like they could use a little bit of work. The morale here just doesn't feel very good. But nonetheless, you still have a lot of proud American patriots that showed up here to the state capitol because they see and they believe that the election is being stolen from them. They believe that there's no transparency. Like, why, if Joe Biden won this election fair and square, you would think the Democrats out of everybody would want the most transparency possible. That way they could prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that their guy won, that their guy flipped the state of Georgia blue from red when it hasn't voted blue since the 90s, since Bill Clinton probably. Even though Barack Obama couldn't win Georgia, somehow the 80-year-old guy who doesn't speak English and campaigned from his basement miraculously flipped a Republican stronghold to blue. It baffles me. But hey, maybe the truth is stranger than fiction, right? So I'm going to bring Brian in here. Brian, what's going on? What did you see from your perspective?
It's just been what an interesting day. You know, we've heard the speakers earlier, and we had some audio issues. We want to address that. We tried to be as transparent as possible that the speaker set up there wasn't the best scenario for broadcast quality, so we definitely want to apologize for that. We also want to apologize for any language that you might have heard earlier. We're not in control of that either. You know, this is live television, and unfortunately, we don't have the delay system where we can beep out a lot of foul language. But nevertheless, it's been a very eventful day here in Atlanta. We saw you saw the police officers with the barrier, the wall. We had some protesters, obviously, some disruptors that were trying to basically overshadow what all these people have come here today, Mike. And it's to come here for freedom. They want to recall in this election. They want to recount on some of these votes in some of these states, and they just want a real election. They want a fair and balanced election, and that's what they want today. And I believe we saw several thousand people gathered here today. I don't know if you said this, but I want to thank all of you. I had about 10 people just in the last 60 seconds as I was walking across the street to come here and say, hey, Right Side Broadcasting, thank you so much for what you do out there. And we want to say thank you because we are viewer supported, and we would not be able to do this without you. So thank you so much. But you know what? I'm here to do a personal message to Mike Lindell right now because of you. I've been on the road for about 37, 38 days, Mike, and I'm tired. But I've got my MyPillow that travels with me. And you know what that means. That means I'm sleeping good. Yeah. And so right now, go to mypillow.com, mypillow.com, and shop away for the holidays. This is a great time to go online, buy some gifts for your family, your friends, your workers, and say thank you for being my friend over the last year. And Merry Christmas, right? So go online, buy it, and don't forget, RSBN and the promo code RSBN and get up to 66% off. That's up to 66% off on all the products there on that amazing website. And of course, Mike Lindell is a true patriot. He is a true friend of the president, and we certainly appreciate his involvement with Right Side as well. So go to MyPillow. We're just moving some barriers over here, which means the party's about to be over. Go online and shop away for the holidays. Don't forget, RSBN code, and you receive up to 66% off. And we love you guys. Just to say that, right? Everybody at Right Side Broadcasting loves our men and women in the blue who keep us safe. And they've done that all day long here, Liz, as you've been right in the center of all this. I was protected over there by the speakers, but you were actually down here on the ground.
Don't let my parents know that. I was just hoping that they weren't watching what I was doing today, but that's journalism, right? Had to make sure you guys knew and saw what was really going on the ground here today. And that's what RSBN does best. We cover exactly what we can. It's kind of the blessing of what we do when we live stream. Our situation's changed. It's not at all what we thought we were going to be recording today. We thought we'd have the speakers and have all of them. And I know some people are bummed that we had to run away from the speakers, but we were about to get bulldozed down the street. I mean, this was a matter of breaking the law at that point. It was against Georgia law to be in that street. And as far as anything after 2 p.m.
And they warned us. They said, hey, you got 10 minutes to clear the street. So we're very thankful for them. But I think the time was up.
Yeah. Exactly, but no, in no way did we try to cut away from any speaker. That's ridiculous. You saw what was happening with SWAT teams, so those points are all invalid. With that being said, thank you for supporting Right Side Broadcasting Network. We are almost entirely viewer funded. Most of you know that, and you've been incredible to work with so far. Your donations have meant the world to us. They've kept us in business and kept us rolling. For years now, we've worked hard to get hundreds of millions of views to help support President Trump in these rallies, these events, a peaceful protest that the mainstream media is just not giving the fair and accurate reporting of. So that's why we're here. We want to bring these events to you live for those all over the country and the world who can't travel and see this for yourself. Somebody has to be here, and that's us. That's exactly what we're doing. So there's a number of ways you can help support us and fund us. The first way is that YouTube Super Chat. I've seen it blow up all day. That's so exciting. Keep those coming through. We're going to be reading some of those off in just a minute. I know Mike's really good at that, interacting with the crowd and saying thank you. And the second way you can help support us, and this is huge, this is where we get really a lot of our donations, is by our website. So check out our website. That's www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. Moderators, thanks for being here. If you don't mind dropping these addresses in the chat. The third, not final way, but these are the top 3 best ways, is by sending a check. So this is a non-electronic form of donation. You can send that check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. So just to reiterate, those 3 main ways you can help support us are the YouTube Super Chat, the website donations, and by sending a check. These are crucial to us. I know we ask it all the time, but that's because nothing's changed. We still need your donations now more than ever. We are still rolling as a network. We've got big plans ahead. You see it every day. I mean, at least we used to have Fox News to rely on. There's nothing now. So RSBN, we feel that it's our mission at this point to stand up, get in bigger roles, and we need your help to continue doing that. And thank you so much. Help us get those donations in. We've just kind of started a little headquarters. I say headquarters, you guys. We have living conditions, and that's our headquarters.
Yeah, it's good enough for us,
good enough for us in D.C. So we are there busting our butts to get you all the D.C. coverage we possibly can, fighting against the White House Correspondents Association, everyone who has their fancy badges and knows their way around. We're learning everything from the ground up right now to try and bring you the news as you deserve as an American citizen, as a citizen of the world. So thank you.
And I want to add this one too, Liz. Also, thank you. There's a fourth thing actually. Support My Pillow, because if you support our partners, that indirectly supports us. So we've seen that across, Fox News. They came after other conservative outlets on their advertisers. So you've got the power of your wallet to spend the money in places that you want to support. And definitely Mike Lindell and MyPillow.com is a website and a product and a company and an individual that supports what we're doing. So if you got a pillow at home, why not buy another one? Or buy 2 or 3 of them. So definitely go online and don't forget about that code
Every bed should have 5 to 6 pillows. I'm a firm believer of that. It looks good. You can cuddle it everywhere. 5 to 6 pillows each bed. Mandatory.
I have about 5 on my bed. So go there and right now get up to 66% off. That's a huge savings there for all the products. So you're going to jump in the super chats real quick?
Yeah, I can jump in the super chats here, and then I'm not sure if we're continuing coverage or what our plan is, but I'm going to read some super chats here. Chrissy Michelle, thank you so much for your super chat. Marek, thank you. God bless you. Lynn Cottrell says, thanks for showing the truth. And Jocelyn says, God bless you. Thank you, Jocelyn, for your super chat. Bethany Dixon says, so thankful for RSBN, for all of our true Americans. Jesus Christ is Lord and is on our President Trump's side. I'm a proud American and I'm praying with you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and your support. Rachel, thank you for becoming a new member. Tammy says, RSBN, you are appreciated. We appreciate you, the viewer, and your donations. Patricia Estrada, thank you for your super chat. June Newman, thank you. And Monica Morris, I think I got you already, Monica. Hung Tran says, thank you. God bless you. And we've got plenty of other people here. Thank you, all of you that tuned in. Make sure that you guys give us a thumbs up. I think that we can maybe hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. I know it's an ambitious goal, but right now we're at 889,000 subscribers, and how much it would mean to just hit that 1 million. I'd love to crack that 1 million before the end of the year. I think we can do it. We got like 111,000 to go, and I think we can do it this year. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell notifications so that you do not miss a single one of our broadcasts.
Thank you, Mike. Make sure you're following Right Side Broadcasting Network as well. 2 of the main ways you can follow us are, of course, the YouTube. Make sure you give us a big thumbs up and subscribe, turn your notifications on. There's so many ways that you as a citizen can so easily help fight big tech and their conservative censorship. The second way is by Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you're following us there. Just type in @RSB Network and follow there. I personally would like to invite you to follow me as well. I am working on growing my following base. We're very close to 30,000 on Twitter, so if you'll help me out with that, it's @LIZWILLIS with an underscore afterwards. So it's @LizWillis_. I'm also on Instagram. That's a little less political, more personal, but if you want to hang out with me more, follow me on Instagram @LizWillis. I want to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in today. Hopefully you enjoyed this, a different type of broadcast, but it was fun and entertaining nonetheless. All that being said, we have a final word from one of the biggest patriots we know, one of President Trump's friends, and a personal friend to Right Side Broadcasting Network. So stay tuned right now for a word from MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell.
Hello, Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of MyPillow, and I've got some great news for you. Today, you can save up to 66% off all my products, from my MyPillows to my Giza Dream Sheets, my towels, my Roll and Go travel pillows, my mattress topper. I have over 100 products that you're going to save up to 66% using the promo code RSBN, Right Side Broadcast Network. RSBN, use that promo code at mypillow.com or call 800-836-7566. That's 800-836-7566. Remember to use the code RSBN, and here's the great news. Half the money is going to support Right Side Broadcast Network, one of the best networks I've ever seen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What a group. What a group. We love this place. This was my first victory, right? This was our first victory. Remember that beautiful primary that we had, and Trump came in and Trump won this incredible, great state, and it was off to the races, right? Off to the races. So I want to thank you, and hello, New Hampshire. It's great to be with you on this beautiful day. Oh, this beautiful day. 9 days from now, we are going to win the state. Can you believe 9 days? And we're going to win 4 more great years in the White House. We're going to keep it going. This is the most important election in the history of our country. The most important election. And I never thought I'd say it after what we went through with the last one 4 years ago. This is a more important election because we're fighting people that we've got to end it. We've got to end the fight. We've got to put them down. We've got to end the fight. Our country will never be a socialist country. We have to end the fight once and for all. For the last half century, Sleepy Joe Biden has been outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in the endless, horrible, ridiculous foreign wars. Afghanistan, 19 years. 19 years. He voted for the war in Iraq, but for himself, did you know today? You know what happened, right? He put the lid on. You know what the lid is? He's constantly putting the lid on. Constantly putting the lid on. The lid means, I guess it's referring to a garbage can, right? You put the lid. And he's putting the lid on. This guy has more lids. I don't know. There's something going on. Somebody said it's strategy. It's not, because really strategy would be coming out. And by the way, a lot of things are happening lately. Have you been noticing? Have you been noticing? I just was asking some people to go back to the fake news and go to the back of the plane. A lot of people up there, a lot of cameras. And I was saying, and I wish those cameras would show behind the cameras. There are thousands of people there, thousands of people there, and thousands of people outside on the street. Thousands. There are thousands of people outside, but have you been noticing what's been happening? People know we've done a great job. I've been, it's so, what's going to happen? This is going to be as exciting, maybe, I don't know, you can't say more exciting. You remember that beautiful night in November 4 years ago, right? Well, I don't think this one will be as close. I don't think this is going to be as close. Thank you. Thank you. No, that's a chant. In all fairness, I said, has anyone in the history of politics, think about it. Ronald Reagan was popular, but they never had that chant. That is a chant. I won't even say it because I don't want to cry. But Ronald Reagan never had that chant. Nobody's ever had that chant. And you see what we go through. It's a tough thing. The swamp is deep and it's vicious. These people are vicious. These people don't report the truth. It's very hard. They don't report the truth. So, for instance, I asked them, would you please turn the cameras around? They don't do that. They never do. They have this shot all the time. I don't have that big an ego. I don't want that shot. They have this shot. You know what they show? They show myself and about 5 people back there. And on occasion, some of the people back there become big stars because they are on camera. But they never move the camera, and I used to think it was the way it is. You know, you couldn't move it. Mechanically, you couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden, we don't see that anymore. I shouldn't say it, but we don't see it anymore. They used to have little fights, right? Little problem. And the camera used to turn like a pretzel to catch it because they viewed that as a bad thing, right? A bad thing. And that camera would turn around, that steel would turn like there's nothing to it, but they never show the crowds. But you know what? They don't show Biden's crowd when 7 people show up. And you know what? They don't show Barack Hussein Obama. He came out to campaign 2 days ago. Right? And they had 42 people. He drew flies. Did you ever hear the expression? Obama drew flies. But they don't show that. But we want them to show our crowds because there's never been anybody, and this is us as a group, anybody, any group, any movement that's ever gotten the kind of crowds that we have. And I was told about New Hampshire. I understand I have a lot of friends that live up here, but I understand New Hampshire. I was told in New Hampshire, you can't have big crowds. You have to go to everybody's dining room and have dinner with them. This was even as I was campaigning, you know, I said, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. You gotta get together and all. And you know, you have guys that have nothing much to do, they're politicians, and they'll go and have dinner with 2 or 3 people and every night, and they'll do this for years. And then they come in, you know, 7th in the primary or something. I said, no, we got to do this. And we've been doing this from the beginning. You have the good arena that holds a lot of people, and we pack that all the time.
But now with the COVID, what we do, and you know, they keep talking about cases. You know why we have cases so much? Because that's all we do is test. If we cut our testing down in half, they'd say, well, they wouldn't say that, but cases would go down in half. Now we have the best test, and we are coming around. We're rounding the turn. We have the vaccines. We have everything. We're rounding the turn. Even without the vaccines, we're rounding the turn. It's going to be over. And you know who got it? I did. Can you believe it? Every time I'd have these meetings, a lot of people, because I can't put myself in a basement for the next year and a half, okay? I can't do it. No, I can't. Or I can't go to a beautiful bedroom in the White House and lock myself up for a year and a half. You're president. You have to do your job. And I'd have meetings, and I'd leave meetings. And I'd leave a meeting, and I'd say, that wasn't good. You know, there are a lot of people, and there's a lot of love in the rooms a lot of times. A lot of times there's no love at all, just the opposite. But I'd say, that might not be good, but you got to do your job. And I went, and what they do is incredible. The doctors are incredible, and especially when you're president, because you have more doctors. I mean, I think I could, I don't know if I could ever get used to this again, going back to a normal where you actually have one doctor. You have a doctor for every single part of your body. So, and they want to touch you, too. They want to grab you. They, sir, I'm a specialist in this. And could I check this? I said, I'd prefer not. But, you know, I didn't feel good. And wonderful doctors. Sean, White House doctors, terrific. They're all really talented people. But I had 12 of them, literally 12. Johns Hopkins. I had doctors from the best schools and best hospitals in the world, because you're president, right? And I said, I'm not feeling too good, fellas. What are we going to do here? And the following morning, I took something called Regeneron. The following morning, I felt so good. I felt like Superman. I wanted to get back. I didn't want to cancel anything. No, we didn't want to be canceled. We didn't want to be canceling a lot of things, right? We didn't want to say, I'm going to take the next like Biden. I mean, I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. He never goes anywhere. And when he does, it's Delaware. Now, I like Delaware, too, but, you know, he just wants to stay right next to that house. He feels very uncomfortable. Yesterday, he did some kind of a crazy rally with the horns, right? And then the camera made a terrible mistake. The guy's going to get fired, I'm sure. Because the camera turned around and there was nobody there. And then he got very agitated, right? You saw that. Because you know who was there? Our people were there, right? And they were screaming, and he can't think too well. He was having a hard time. And he got very angry. And Obama got angry, too, because he went out someplace, and it was all our people. And today they're having this incredible rally on Long Island. You know, what's happened to New York is so sad with the crime. Democrat run. Only Democrat run. Where you have Democrat run, you have problems. You have crime. It's all closed up in many cases. Lockdown. By the way, you have an excellent governor here, right? You have an excellent governor. Can I say that? Good. Sometimes I'll say that and people don't like it, but you do. You have a good governor, good guy. And he's with us, and the family is good, and his father's great. His father, you know, I'd see that name, Sununu, I said, man, he was brutal, he was tough. And once we won, there was nobody better than him. There was nobody rougher, and there was nobody better. But it's a good family, they really are. They've done a good job, and you're open up, and you're doing business, and here we are. But Biden has the lid on again. It's really... You know, I guess he figures if he keeps the lid on, he's not going to make a stupid statement. He made one yesterday. Yesterday he said, I'm getting tired of smart people. No, you got to like smart. Right? He said that. Then he said something much worse, right? He talked about the fact that we have the most corrupt... He didn't mean that. But I think maybe we'll put a clip up. You know, we have a new deal. If we like people... Oh, there it is. See that little screen? That costs a lot of money. And if we like you, like we do the great state of New Hampshire, if we like you like we do New Hampshire, we put that up And we have a couple of little clips like he's against Social Security, you know, little things like that. How about his oil comment? And I said, it took all the way to the end. He was doing okay. I wouldn't say it was Winston Churchill, but he was doing all right. He was getting through it, and then all of a sudden it came out the oil.